folks? Bob Mannery here, and you're listening to Agree to Disagree, the flagship, only on A2D Radio. Uncle Sweeps, Nick Delgazzo, the legendary Brian Wilson, and the fucking man himself, Tom Arnone. These three guys from Jersey bringing you real talk with no agenda. You don't like them? Tough shit. It's their show, and they're going to say whatever the hell they goddamn want.
Run it up. This is Agree to Disagree. A2D Radio, live from the Real Talk Studios. Every Sunday, we're brought to by our doctor, making yours, Specialized Physical Therapy, LLC. Find on the web, specializedphysicaltherapy.com. Tom Arnone, Nick Delgazzo, Brian Wilson, Greg Mwagvik, Robbie Pove on the ones and twos. The family out there. We'll have 5 questions later on in the show with Robbie. Little Eagles-Titans preview, since we'll be on next Sunday night. And then Eagles-Colts, a little recap. We'll have the doc on about 40, 45 minutes in to the show today, and we'll talk a little bit about Carson, how he looked, not only, statistical-wise, eye test-wise, but, a little knee-wise. Yeah. We got to talk about it. Tie into Carson Wentz's breakdown. Right in our poll question, brought to you by Scanzano Sports. Find them on the web, scanzanosports.com. What was your evaluation of Carson Wentz's first start since the injury? Better than expected, as expected, worse than expected, or other, which I don't know how there's another. But let us know, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. A2D Radio is where you can find us. We'll be reading off your questions, comments. And I know, even in wins, even though going to a locker room with a dub in this league is big time, but even with wins, there's people out there with concerns. So get them off your chest as well tonight. Boys, how you feeling after a dub? One, and sweeps, the elephant in the room. Yes, we know the Dolphins are 3-0 to the people out there. And respect. Tannehill, 10 wins in his last 11 starts. We were talking about before we came on.
I like that Tannehill.
Yeah, I do too. He wins games.
Whenever he plays, yeah.
Whenever he plays.
Stay on the field.
So to our poll question. No. Say again.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
no. Give you a little twister. Give Wilson a little twister.
I feel like I can't hear myself.
No, you're loud, Sweet. I got you, baby.
I got you. I hear myself, though.
I got you.
I don't know what's going on.
No, you just need to – he's probably 1 or 2. It wouldn't be that, Greg. Now you're just jacking me up, Greg. That's all you're doing to me.
What up? Oh, jeez.
Jacking me up. Right into the people chiming in already.
Oh, yeah, you got me.
Out on the book. Jaquan Gators by Carson Wentz Chin Hairs. We got this win. Eagles need to play better all around. I don't think anybody's debating that one. No. I don't think anybody at all. Mike Mataraki, given no Alshon, no Ajali, no Wallace, and no Sproles, I give him a solid B. And, grading of Carson Wentz, too, which you can throw us at a grade, A, B, C, or D as well. And if you got an F, go smack yourself. You know what I mean?
I thought it was as expected, really.
Yeah, is that where you're at?
He was rusty. Yeah. He was rusty, showed some rust, but he made some good throws. When we got moving and got our tempo that we like to keep, he looked really good. We were stagnant sometimes, but it was also a sloppy day.
Yeah.
It's a mess. Like you said, we don't have our best back. We don't have our best wide out. I thought it was as expected, and we got the win. That's all that matters.
Yeah, that's all it is in this league.
Now, some things I don't like aren't really Carson's fault, but we got to shore up the penalties. It's been for 2 years now almost. The penalties are a problem. We have too many fucking penalties. It's killing me.
Yeah, I mean, you're almost lucky. Not only the penalties. I think the offensive line got absolutely manhandled today. Really, if he escaped 3 or 4, he escaped at least 5 times, 5 sacks plus the escapability. He scrambled like 3 times. So it's obviously different with somebody. You can't just say, well, if Foles was in there, they would have had 10 sacks. I understand. Like maybe he just throws the ball earlier or something. Yeah. So he doesn't look through all his progressions, maybe like Carson was. He likes to hang on to it sometimes and make plays. So they're 2 different players, but you should be, it's one game. I get that, but that was cause for concern. I mean, it was They got absolutely outplayed in the trenches on that side. Then obviously the defensive line does their thing like they always do, and you just take your hat off to that defense once again. Because I expected that from Carson. The rust and all that stuff, especially with the weather and lack of weapons. And what I didn't expect him turning it over in the Eagles' own zone, and that's once again that's a credit to the Eagles' defense for stepping up and keep holding them to 3. Or this game's an easy loss if they turn them into 7.
Yeah, no, I real quick on the gram, James Water, love you guys. And
what up, Molson?
And Mo Jade said hello. Says hello.
How's he in like two places
Canada.
at once? You know what I mean? Like
he probably
he's
just
in
jumped
2 spots
from
at once.
But I'm with you
him.
guys.
He's got dual setup.
I'm as expected. I kind of thought, this brings me back to his rookie year. He's going to show flashes of being the MVP pimp that we thought he was, or that he was last year. But then there's also going to be, it's his first game in 200. Well, we find out, Tom. 288 days.
200. It's
his first start. So yeah, there's some rust. There's going to be some bad balls, and But what to your point, what I do like, Sweeps, is his escapability was
still there,
already.
baby. Still there, didn't go nowhere.
And there was that first one when he moved out. I was on pins and needles.
Well, I think we all were.
I think if you weren't, then you weren't.
Yeah, of course.
But
you're gonna definitely
his
hold your breath and
escapability is
flinch,
still there.
Well, I talked about this morning, like my nervousness of I know all the presents are going to be good. Like it's like Christmas morning. I knew all the presents were going to be great, but I didn't know how the first present was going to be. Because it's been a while, and then you're coming off the injury, and I know what I expected from him, and that he's just a worker and a baby goat and all them things, and knowing that he dove even deeper into the playbook and how smart he is in the worker. I thought he was going to come out and play well. I really did. I thought he was going to come out and play well, and I love how they went a little up-tempo, spread you out wide right from Jump Street. There was no waste of time. Empty back to start and just let him get the first throw under him. And the first throw, it was like a little off, and you're like, whoa. And then it was boom, 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 boom. And he started carving, and he was a surgeon. And you're like, you know what, that's the resemblance to last year before the injury. That was MVP, first drive. And listen, I think the game conditions, obviously the weather, play a part in being able to throw the football, and I still thought he threw the football pretty well today because he saw luck on the other side. It was tough to throw the ball a little bit.
He didn't throw it bad at all.
In them conditions, and I thought he was accurate with the football and, the zip. But the escapability was the big thing that, you wanted to see him move around and be smart with the football, and I think he was today. So if I'm grading, if I'm throwing a grade out,
he lost the ball twice.
No, I mean later on. But the one was just a great play. I mean, the one wasn't an interception. The one's a great play.
When he locked in.
Yeah.
But that goes to
Marcus was all
that
over
could
the
also go.
field.
That could also go to not having the weapons, right? Because then you become you lean heavy on your security blanket, which is Ertz.
He made
it. You hold the football a little bit.
And he just stayed there. Yeah,
Exactly.
He threw it late. He threw it late.
He
threw it late. And that happens. I expect that part of that was rust to me. Late on a ball. I thought I was going to expect that early on in the game, not later on in the game. I thought that'd be something that would happen early. But what I'm happy about is from here on out, he's only going to get stronger, and his team's going to get stronger around him. When you talk about Alshon coming back, Jay, Darren, I mean they're huge losses offensively, and listen, this defense plays well inside the 20. You know what I mean? His defense gets stopped. If you kick field goals in this league, you're going to lose a lot of games.
That's where you make money.
And that's just the way it is.
It's the green zone.
And it gets to the point where you obviously you continue to tip your cap to the defense because they just pull themselves up by the bootstraps, whatever situation they're given, and they get after it. You know what I mean? But Colts fans probably thought Sarkisian was calling plays again. I mean, like. Third down fade to Ty. Wow, I mean he's 5'10".
Yeah,
I mean so you got to love that call right there. If that's a slant.
Did you watch any tape? Because they don't work here. Because this is why it doesn't work against the Eagles because both corners are big and physical. So the fades are tougher. Yeah. In today's NFL, where listen, it's not where they think you're going to catch it. Like you can put somebody out of bounds and use your leverage to get somebody out of bounds. So it's not the old NFL like that. So we're big and strong on the outside. The way you're going to beat us is across the middle. You know what I mean? And quick slants and stuff like that because, now inside the 20s, we can't. See, this is the way you shake your head and think about Jim Schwartz.
Everything's tighter.
You play.
Everything's tighter.
He plays 10 yards off with our corners all day, right? 8 to 10 yards off all day. Right now when you get inside the 20, you're not 8 to 10 off. Now, I understand the field strengths, but his defense gets better. Right? So, I mean, sometimes I would like to see a change of him defensively. Okay. When your front four is not going and getting guys, it's okay to bring a little pressure. it's okay to trust your secondary once in a while. And I think sometimes he's a little too safe and relies too much on the front four, if that makes sense.
Oh, yeah,
I don't want to overly blitz happy guy, but just, at times.
I've talked about it before, and I've asked you guys, too. Like, there's some stubbornness there. There's some swagger. I get it, and that's what you want out of the guy. You know what I mean? Like, there's not going to be a guy like Jim Johnson ever again. You know what I mean? So it's a tough guy to replace in this.
Oh yeah,
in this area. You know,
he's a stubborn
mule. Took a while.
In this area, yeah, exactly.
Took a while to replace.
You know,
and I love Jim.
You
I love the swagger and all that shit. But you know what I mean.
But there's times when you got to you should make adjustments. Before it becomes too late, like we were talking about in week 1 with Julio, you didn't double him to that last drive, and it didn't. All it did was really pad the stats for Julio. It wasn't anything like he was getting in the end zone or anything. But I felt like he waited a little long there, so you'd like to see some adjustments maybe earlier until it gets because sooner or later, how many times you want to roll the dice in you don't want to be. In the red zone defensively too many times. The percentages, as good as you are going to go against you sooner or later.
Yeah, and I know you're going. Listen, I know
the other guys get paid too.
Listen, I know you want to play 10 yards off the ball and stuff like that, and you want to avoid the big play, and I understand why you're doing that. And listen, it works most of the time, but sometimes it doesn't. And sometimes you got to go say, you know what, we're going to go a little press, and we're going to bring guys, and we're going to get physical because we do have 2 physical corners. So if I have 2 physical corners, at times in the football game, I want to get up and get in you. And I don't care if you're quicker than me or not because then I expect my front four bringing a guy from somewhere else. Then I definitely expect us to get home. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, he blitzes. I'm not saying he never blitzes, but at times he needs to do a little more, I feel like, when you're talking about Jim.
When you have the best front four, though, you can rely on them.
No, you do. And he's right. But there's times where you see it where it's like, you know what? It's okay to send a guy or two.
I'm always in favor of sending a guy.
But
okay?
I
like especially if you play like a young QB, you cause someone to have to speed up, and it fucks everything up for him.
Because if the front four don't get there, you see what happens last week with the 75-yarders.
You always say with the pitcher. When you bump because pitchers will shit all over themselves, young QBs will shit all over themselves.
No, absolutely.
Well.
Because you can't, if you're blitzing, you don't have time to throw that deep ball. You know what I mean? So it gives your corners aren't as exposed.
No, against Brady I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Because he'll know exactly where to go, and you're in big trouble. You can't do it against guys like that.
Yep.
So listen to our poll question. What was your evaluation of Carson Wentz's first start since the injury? Better than expected, as expected, worse than expected, or other? Let us know. Chime in. I'm going as expected. Wilson went as expected. As expected. As expected. I don't think anybody's going to think better than expected because I think it's right where we thought it was. Now, if everything would have stayed the way it was the first drive, then it would have been better than expected.
And you know what?
But now grade-wise. Go ahead. Say what you're going to say.
You know what? It's like I feel like also is that we're downgrading. We're thinking the Colts are still the Colts of the past.
Yeah,
the Colts have actually played good defense all 3 weeks now.
Yeah.
So, and Marcus Hunt's a problem.
Hunt's a problem.
That's 6'8" of them.
Malik Hooker's a good football player. I think we knew that coming out of Ohio State. I mean, they definitely got better
rookie
defensively.
linebacker, too. He made a lot of havoc. Caused a lot of havoc.
Oh, at the end, too.
Yeah.
Whoever, I forget his name. Was it Alexander?
Leonard or something like that?
Leonard. He was all over the freaking football field late in that game.
Yeah.
Late in that game. And that was blitzing. That was bringing somebody extra.
Yeah.
They're not bad.
Just bringing them at the right time.
No, they shot
and
themselves
Luck
in the
always
foot.
stays in the game.
Exactly. He'll keep you in it. They are definitely improved defensively. That's not a bad football team. They shot themselves in the foot with penalties, too. I think
they did.
It was 11-10.
First of all,
Eagles had 11-minute drive, that game winner right there.
Yeah.
And 4th and 4, they're off the field, and you see the elusive defensive holding on a lineman on a pass play. You just don't see it. So you can't. Your lucky stars. You got lucky there.
Did you see the replay?
Nelson made a play later on, and they did some.
3 guys in one bear hug.
I know.
Pretty impressive.
You see the more on runs. You just don't see it too much on a pass play. But
impressive.
still, it is what it is. But there
Well,
was
you know
another
what?
3 penalties on that play.
To me, that means that he's been doing it all game, and Doug said, watch for this. Watch for this.
Great coaching.
That's what good coaching does.
Great
That's
coaching.
Oh, God.
James
That's
Wilder
what you do.
over on the book.
Here
Love
we go.
it.
What? That's what you do.
Love it, boys. Carson
sorry.
looked nice and mobile with some rust. So I say he looked as expected, and he will get more comfortable out there and get better. Let's go. Absolutely. Ralphie D, boys.
He'll be fine.
What up, Ralphie? Brian
Ralphie?
Daly said he looked good. I wasn't that impressed, but he's only going to get better the more he plays.
Obviously, now it was aided by the penalty, but you guys like to call. I know you guys are aggressive. I'm aggressive, too. I get that. But there's 6 and change left from almost midfield. You're down 3.
I love it.
I understand. Okay.
I know.
I did ask you.
Yeah, I'm confirming.
I don't know why I'm getting mad.
Yeah, you said He said, I know what you guys are going to say. I know what you guys are going to say. I love
trying
it.
to go down the line.
I love it. Now, if you don't get it, but that's where you got to trust your D to get off the field, too. I don't know. It's tough.
Yeah.
And when you get it, it's
I would
great.
went for it.
Yeah.
At that point,
the conditions make you like, maybe you don't
You go for it there
but
6 minutes ago. I mean, obviously, we
We're-
know what
well,
happened.
we talked about it where I said most teams punt it.
Fourth and
Remember?
5.
I
Yes.
said most teams
Yeah.
punt. I love that he does it.
Yeah.
I love that he says, nope, we're going to take our chances. And I love that. I love that he's a gambler. I love gamblers when you got 11 back there.
Well, I mean,
I love the gambler even more.
It's the culture that he's built that he's going to go for that. You know what I mean? That there's no question in that situation. That's what you're getting.
Yeah.
Another coach. Another error. Yeah, there might be debate and there might be heated debate, especially
when you have
afterwards.
debate, there's a
You almost
problem. I like
expect
how
it.
it's.
You
I like
almost
how it's.
expect it.
It's now
And you don't, you're like, what are you,
Yeah,
soft?
it's now
You
expected.
soft on me, dude?
Yeah.
You win a
And-
Super Bowl, now you're soft?
And
Get
now
wake up.
Now it's if you punt, where Doug go?
Yeah.
Where Doug go? Is
Doug
this-
shaving
is
points?
this-
Get Doug as secretary.
is this-
Get
is
Doug
this-
as secretary.
is this
You know what I
first year,
mean?
Doug?
If
Is he
something
shaving?
happens.
Doug punts there. Is he shaving? Is he shaving? Fuck, motherfucker.
Mike Real says, how about them Cowboys? Michael DeAndrea, not a pretty game, but with the weather and injuries, they still prevail. Go Birds. I agree. Danny Donato. What are we talking about? Go to the
hard-fought win, man.
Go to the locker room
It's a
with
hard-fought
Dubs.
win.
You're getting everybody's best shot. They talked about it on the telecast today. You're gonna get everybody's best shot. We got Indy's best shot. You go to locker rooms with wins in this league, and you
It's a
feel
team
good
from
about
another
yourself.
Conference. It's always tough to be the team from the other conference.
Yeah.
You never see them. You don't know what they do. Now, granted, our coach is now their coach, so we
Yeah.
probably know he
Knows
knows us a
Oh,
little
yeah,
well
yeah,
too.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
He
think
definitely knows us.
I think that we did enough to win. Now, granted, also he might have looked even better had it not been raining. Had we have our number one running back,
Agree.
had our number one wide receiver.
Agree.
But he got Goddard involved, which we didn't really see first 2 weeks, which was nice.
We talked about that. Wow, he
Yeah.
looks
And
better.
that
He
was
looks better with a guy who can sling it.
Oh,
Right?
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, hey.
And for as much as I thought they got manhandled in pass protection, they ran block fantastic. I mean,
Yes.
the Eagles ran for 150
Oh, we
yards.
ran
I think,
well.
Everybody.
I thought
Smallwood,
I thought
everyone.
fucking
Adams,
Old Dick ran well.
Adams
all
for
three of them.
30,
Fucking
6 for
Smallwood
30.
ran well.
Yes, he
The
did.
only
I thought all three of them did.
The only issue I had.
I
is,
thought
like,
Wendell ran the best, but I thought Adams ran well when he got a shot. And I thought Corey
He's
a
a
little
big
slow.
fucking
Corey's a
boy,
little
Adams.
slow to
Yeah,
me
he is.
with certain things,
They-
but
they-
Corey gets it done.
They all seem to seek out somebody instead of like trying to get away from somebody.
Yeah, they all
Corey
do.
won't
They
miss
all
nobody.
want
They all,
contact.
they all like go to the guy instead of like finding the open hole.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's just like, hey, maybe take this 4 yards, make it 7
Yeah,
yards.
Corey's
You
got
know,
a human,
but you're
human
right.
magnet in his pocket. He don't
oh my
fucking
God,
miss nobody.
he just runs into everyone. Yeah.
There was a
Fucking
comment
He's fucking
on,
super jockey.
on
He just puts the
Instagram
top
about
of his head
Goddard.
and he just goes. "Whoop."
Keith
Ralphie's not
Engler
happy.
says, at least they brought Goddard back into the plan today.
Yep.
Clement needs to stay off special teams. We got lucky, no turnovers off Clement. I mean, I think it's only because of the injuries he was back there.
Yeah, Darren.
Yeah, like, I mean, hold on.
And we all feel pretty good about that.
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
You know, hold on to the football, and if you're dropping it that many times, like after your second drop, just get away from
Get
it.
away from the
Fire!
ball.
Fire! Everybody away! Everybody away! Ralphie D says it's a fucking Eagle show. Sweeps a crumb. Got with his hoodie on. He's not happy about the hoodie. You're the biggest crumb out there, you Lakers crumb.
He doesn't even
All
have
right?
a hoodie on.
I know.
No, I'm talking.
It's a T-shirt.
Clean those
That's what I'm
glasses.
saying. He doesn't even have a hoodie
I
on.
know. He said someone
Tell Ralph
get.
to
I know someone
put
get
some
him a hoodie.
on, Ralph.
He said somebody get him a hoodie. I
Yeah.
think he might say someone get him a hoodie.
They're 3-0. We'll let him go.
Yeah.
There's no
The
English.
AFC,
There's
who
no
cares?
English in what Ralphie
We're
wrote.
defending
there. I don't know.
champs. Who cares?
Ralphie!
No,
Nobody
at
cares
least
about
he's
the
not a
Dolphins.
Lakers crumb.
I know.
They got the Patriots in their division. They're fucked anyway. Who cares?
Mike Real says
is correct.
he needs to protect the ball,
Uh-oh.
take less hits.
Oh, house! House call!
Hey, house cat!
Cordero Paris.
House kitty!
Mike Real says he needs to protect the ball,
Yes.
take less hits, learn when to throw the ball away, and other than that, he looked good. I thought the one screen pass, or it wasn't even, it might not have been a screen pass, but it was later on in the game and ended up losing
Should've
8 yards.
threw it
to
by the feet.
Smallwood.
Yeah,
it's like,
Smallwood.
you know, just
Yeah, 'cause
I
Marcus
love you
Hunt
because
was
I love
humping
you
him down the
because
field.
but that's what. Guess what? You're gonna get to go with the bad because when the gunslinger mentality, even though on a pass like that, but always wanting to make a play, even if it's not there, you're gonna get that with him sometimes just because of his makeup. But yeah, you want to. That's the ball you want to be smarter with and take 2nd and 10. Absolutely. I mean, I agree with that. Shaquan Gitters, the cornerbacks look like they're 50-50. I think you're going to get to go with the bad with them guys out there. You know what I mean? But the good to me is they both, in the run game, they tackle well. Darby, when he wants to, tackles well in the open field. And Jalen's physical and to a fault sometimes. And, you know, and his physicality gets him in trouble.
I mean, listen, if I'm another team, I would throw at him all day because he's going to let up a big play, and he's going to get a lot of penalties. It's guaranteed.
Good question. Good question.
one-
This is a good question by Mike Rowe before we miss it. Do the Niners target Foles now with Garoppolo out?
Please.
No.
No?
Please. Get anything for him.
Would you stop over there?
Well, no, I mean, I was saying this today earlier. Like, you messed up by not trading him in the offseason, which how bad he looked this year.
No, he's fine. Would you shut up?
If you knew Carson was coming back within the first 3 games to where Carson's going to play a whole season, why did you not?
We hope he plays the whole season. It's fucking NFL. I do not trade Nick Foles. Absolutely not.
See ya.
That's bad. That would be a bad decision. And they're not going to trade him.
You don't even think now. You don't even think if they reach out.
I mean, listen, San Fran might call. We're not going to trade him. Unless they want to give us a first-round pick, which ain't going to happen.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I mean,
that ain't going to happen.
Here we
They're
are
gonna
again.
offer you a third-round pick.
I was going to say, here you are talking picks again. Like,
yeah.
And I understand that's how the league works. It annoys you. You know what I mean? Like, you want Foles, give us Marquise Goodwin.
Yeah.
You understand? And I know the phone.
Right,
you'll hang the fuck up, and that's fine. Hang the fucking phone up there.
Yep.
Hang the fucking phone up. That's it.
That's how I operate too, Sweet. I don't need the picks.
What
talent?
tired of it.
What talent you got over there?
It,
you know what I mean? What talent you got on your roster over
we
there?
know what they turn into sometimes. You know what I mean?
Breda.
But you know,
I like that Breda.
We know what they turn into. But if you don't fucking hit on it, it don't mean nothing. You know, how would you like to be Matt Nagy? Matt Nagy's right now. He's saying, "Fuck, man, glad to be a head coach. I got a guy named fucking Mitchell. When I was in Cleveland, we passed on fucking this organization traded up and left fucking Patrick right there at fucking 10, and I fucking got to see him for 2 fucking years." And now I got a fucking Mitchell. I got to fucking pencil his name in the lineup every fucking day. It's fucking eating Matt Nagy up. It's got to be fucking killing him. So, you know, whatever you do, you got to hit on the fucking picks. I mean, they don't fucking, you know, so it is what it is. I'd rather give me a proven guy.
That Mitchell's awful yet.
Oh, yeah.
No, not really.
I don't think he's been good, but I think he can be. I'll give him one more full year,
Middle
like
of the
this
road.
year and then next year.
Yeah, you got to give him that. Absolutely.
Yeah, no, he's not going anywhere.
Because I thought Tannehill was bad early, and
anywhere.
Tannehill, I've been saying, I know he got hurt last year, but I was saying for the year before that when you guys played well, that I thought Tannehill had turned the corner and was a good quarterback.
No,
sometimes that takes a little time.
Yeah, I know.
No, it does.
And I think Mitchell didn't
Not
really play
everybody's
QB
special.
until he was like in college. Right?
Listen, when you can't just say my name's Mitch and you want to be long with
Whatever,
it,
like
it's
Mitchell,
creepy.
whatever, what's wrong
it's
with
creepy,
that?
dude. If I say,
you
you can't call me Tom. You got to call me Thomas.
Okay, some people like that. That's their fucking
There are
name.
people I don't want to draft.
Fucking name.
There are people I don't want in my
That's
locker
not
room.
your name. Why do you care?
There are people I don't want in my locker room.
Because his name's Mitchell?
No, because he's got to fucking define it that clearly to you. You can't call him Mitch. You
Okay,
can't shorten it.
because his name's
You can't.
Mitchell.
So nobody
His
can say, "Hey,
name's not
Mitch."
Mitch. It's Mitchell.
Oh my goodness! Everybody gets shortened.
Oh, would you shut the fuck up?
Welcome to professional sports where everybody has a nickname, genius. And I
wants to go by
can't
the
call you
answer.
anybody
What
but
he wants to go
Mitchell.
by, he wants
How's
to go
that going
by
to handle in the
Mitchell.
locker room?
Everyone's
Think that
a
goes
lie.
over well in the locker
Oh,
room?
it goes over fine.
Oh, grow up.
Oh,
You don't have a clue.
you're an idiot.
If you're great, then it goes over great. But when you're how's it go over?
Dude, you're an idiot.
I'm far from an idiot.
Sir Mitchell.
You're definitely an idiot.
Sir Mitchell. Call me Sir Mitchell.
Chrome says he's undefeated at the link since 2005. Keep sending them. GoFundMe's, Chrome. GoFundMe's, Daddy. William Gore says injury bug needs to leave this area. I'll trade it for snow and rain at any time. Stay frosty, cowgirls, and the rest of the East.
Billy.
Keon Jordan said, I'm surprised by the game of Smallwood. I think a lot of people are.
Wendell ran hard, too.
Yeah,
Remember we
ran
talked
through some fucking tackles today.
He was churning butter.
Oh, yeah, he was.
He was
Yes,
churning
he was.
butter.
Them legs were moving. Keep the legs moving.
Remember we were talking before the year, like,
Keep pumping.
The fact that we have to talk about a fourth running back, it just shows you how deep this team is. Yeah. And I was like, you got to keep him on. They're going to keep him because he's played in the league. He started, even though he's not. We know he's not great, but he started. So
he stinks.
In a bind, you can throw him back there, and at least he knows the playbook, and you feel comfortable in him, confident in him enough. And
that's why
it's a good keep today.
And that's why
where it pays off.
I think people were annoyed that Clement was back there catching punts. Like, yeah, you should just call for a fair catch, but you're just looking for somebody to catch the ball because, Nelson can do it, but you don't have any receivers as it is, so you're not going to run Nelson back there. You understand? At least you have a couple backs. At least you have a couple service
Nelson
backs.
gets laid out, and then we're like, what the fuck?
saying.
We're throwing to Kamar Aiken all day. I didn't realize Clay Aiken was back in the league.
Yeah,
He's our leading receiver.
So as much as Nelson could do it, you just can't do it.
No.
Chrome, if you can only be called Michael, don't come in for Birds of a Feather Tuesday.
Chrome!
No, he would still be able to come in.
Mikkel?
Mikkel. Where was I at? I was reading something. I don't know. Sean Spielman, by the way, Wilson, your team win today, I guess, in the A2D League?
I don't know. Probably not.
Yes,
I can't
Spell
get,
seems
I
to know
can't
that
get
answer.
to it.
I think Spells seems to know that answer.
I can't set it, so, have at it, because I can't fucking get to it.
Wait,
we've had this
a fantasy gate?
before.
Okay, yeah.
You can't get in there?
No, I didn't get to draft the team. I couldn't get in. I can finally get in if I go like desktop. It's a mess, dude.
James Wilder says the East is like the kiddie table anyway. I guess he's talking about the rest of the teams. Or West, whatever your conference is. I don't know what he's talking about.
Talking about the A2D.
Oh, he's talking conference. I was wondering where we're going.
Because there's 2 conferences.
Yeah. Joe Miller says, what's up, fellas? What's up, Joe?
What's up,
Sorry,
Joe?
my other team's doing well.
Thicky Don chiming in. Wilson, nice jersey. Trotter, I saw you on the Black Horse Pipe and beep 6 times, and you never even looked up. Cool, dude. Who is the Thicky?
Oh, shit.
Who is Thicky?
I don't know who he is,
X-Man.
and I don't care either. Really. I don't look up for insignificance, okay? So clearly you're of insignificance to me.
Rob Hill says about expected or as expected with Carson. I think that's a majority. Now, if you're grading them, all right, let's toss this down. Now you want to go a grade sheet, A, B, C, or D, knowing what you already knew going into it in 288 days. Where's your grade at? I'm at a B.
C+.
C plus. See, I'm at a B. I'm at a low B, but I'm going to give him the B because of the injury. I'm giving him the B.
B minus because it was a W and the weather and all that other and no weapons and all that stuff and the bad turnovers make it a B minus for me.
Yes,
you know what I mean? They did enough and showed enough.
No golden taint. We need no taint.
They got some comments over here on the Instagram. Keith Enberger, yo, great win today. Joshua Gomez, W gang. Ja Little Harris, way too many hits on Carson. He needs someone to pass to.
Yep.
Absolutely. And now I lost him.
They need the offensive line wise needs to protect better because they were going to get him killed out there, and if that was Foles, he's in for a long game with that protection.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean? So they got to do better there.
It's amazing how the tale of two different things. You know what I mean? Like you got that physically mauled in pass blocking, and you were able to run block like champs. You know what I mean? So it was great to see. At least that side of it, you know what I mean? That they didn't completely tuck their heads and run, you know what I mean?
What's the difference from, like, Andy back in the day and Doug, right? The big difference I'm seeing is, Doug never really goes away from the run, right? He established it. There's a reason we dominate in time and possession like we have for over the last year, you know what I mean? He never goes away from it. So at times you feel like he does maybe, but when you go back and look, he never gets away from it. And we always run the ball extremely well. I mean, we have now for over a year, maybe even a year and a half, where we run the ball really well. So it's always them guys always like to do that. It was always talked about in the Andy years. Like guys love the run block. guys love to get the hit.
Today was double. I mean, obviously the 11-minute drive is a dagger, but today was double. It was like 40-19, 40 plus and 19.
I mean, really, besides our penalties on defense, they didn't do much. They had a 30-yard run by Luck that was nice, where we kind of pulled. I feel like our defense almost didn't know that once he's running, you can hit the quarterback. It's like twice on that run they kind of
or are you even allowed to?
Yeah, you can.
No, I'm just joking.
When they're running, you can.
And they're
in the pocket, you can't fucking touch them.
I know you can't do nothing.
But when they're running, you can hit them. But
no, that's debatable too.
Besides that 30-yard run, though, they didn't really do a whole lot in
Real
the
quick,
first 3 quarters.
Before we have Paul on talking Carson, Shaquan Gitter said, "Would you trade for Le'Veon Bell?"
Yes,
absolutely.
And we'll talk about that in a little bit.
They would want a lot.
We'll talk about that a little bit later.
Nick Foles.
Joe Miller says, you guys think Carson prioritizes the tight end too much? No, I just don't think he has anybody but Nelson to throw the ball on the outside to.
Yeah,
when Alshon comes back, it will be spread out a lot more.
It's the only weapons we have.
And we won't worry about that.
We threw to the tight end a ton last year, too. I mean,
Mike Parker said, Doc's on the phone. Yup, Doc's coming up here in a second. Mike Rural said, well, when you have 3 tight end sets, it's kind of hard to avoid them.
And it's our best mismatch. It's
true.
If they put a fucking linebacker on Ertz, that's our best mismatch.
You didn't draft Dallas to not run 2 tight ends, 3 tight end sets at times, and to be able to pound it down your throat in a 3 tight end set, or then be able to go off play action and be able to, pick you apart that way too. Right?
And they're 2 very, very athletic tight ends that are,
that are
playmakers.
They're problems.
Yeah. So, but I hear you. I mean, obviously you don't want to lock in on them all the time. You want to spread it around. And like he said, he locked in on Ertzy today, and that caused him to pick.
Yeah.
Michael DeAndre gives him an A+ because of what he was missing today. Weapons-wise, target-wise. losing your number one
Can I
wideout
take his class?
and running back. Well, I mean, he's going off what he's missing and what he saw out of the other
I
quarterback.
I don't disagree. I'm just saying.
The other quarterback had
Yeah, it wasn't A+.
A plus.
Yeah,
All right, well, let the guy enjoy it. Let the guy enjoy
That's what I
it.
said. Can I go into his class?
Yeah.
I would love his class, too.
I
I want to know his class, too.
I
Great
need a couple
curve.
A+'s too.
Great curve in that.
I only
class.
had
Great bell
Jim.
curve.
Yeah.
All right, let's not keep the doc waiting.
Dude's giving out
Specialized
handies for
Physical
2
Therapy,
turnovers inside
LLC.
the zone.
We got Paul Vidal on the line with you. We're going to talk a little Carson, some injuries around the leg. Doc, how you doing?
I'm doing good, man.
What's up, Doc?
What's up, Doc?
What's happening?
So right into it. No, not even going to waste a minute here. Right into it. What'd you see today, and did you like what you saw?
Tell you what, man. Ooh.
Yeah, that was loud.
Tell you what, physically, man. Physically, he looked good. Man, you see him move in the pocket and then get away from people. I mean, that's a lot of lateral mobility and quick changes in direction. I thought he looked good physically. I was happy about that. He's a little rusty. I think the team was a little off sync with him a little bit. You could see it a couple times. They burned a timeout with that. But I mean, I think physically he looked good.
Yeah, I would agree.
Did you see him favoring it at all during the game?
I don't think so, man. I didn't see any of that. I mean, I watched most of that game, and there were times when he dove for first down. He was running. I mean, it was kind of like he did it without hesitation, which is good.
Agreed. I thought he looked great out there, mobility-wise. Yeah.
No, I did too. I just not trained eye, so.
No.
But no, that first escape and then that dive kind of did seal it for me. Like, yeah, he's good, and even mentally, he's good.
Yeah, and then did he get sacked like 5 times or 4 times? I lost count. I mean, how many times did he get hit?
5.
He definitely got hit a lot.
He got hit a lot and sacked 5.
5
yeah.
sacks. I think he scrambled
Yeah.
3 times, and who knows how many escapes. At least another couple escapes where he just threw it away or something. You know what I mean?
Right. So I was like watching him every time he got hit, and you know how sometimes guys try to walk it or jog it off. I didn't see like he was doing that. He just got up and went right back to the huddle or got off the field. So I thought he looked good.
Yeah, nothing seemed to faze him. I wanted him to, like everybody else, to take that first hit, get back up, and now you're playing football again.
Yeah.
And I was curious about his, escapability and mobility to be able to move around in the pocket. And I thought he looked great too. But again, I don't have the trained eye, and that's why we need you, Doc.
I mean, quite honestly, I don't think Nick Foles would have got out of some of those things, man. I think Wentz's mobility looked really good. I don't know if Foles has that mobility.
Yeah, he definitely wouldn't have.
Yeah,
I think that's a guarantee that he wouldn't.
Yeah. We were talking about that earlier. Like, who knows if he throws it away? But it was a possibility of a 10-sack day if he was.
Possibility. Yeah.
The way they were getting to the pass rusher. I mean, they were getting to the quarterback.
And typical. You would have thought maybe that the mobility, like his escapability might take a little back seat like early on, But he needed it today, and he showed it.
Did.
And he showed it. So.
And it was early too.
Yeah.
And which I think goes into, as Doc said a couple weeks ago, the mental side of the injury. Like, the physical side is one thing, but the mental side. Yeah.
And for me, it's body language is huge. You know what I mean? So, just we know he's a professional and we know what kind of kid he is, but just as not even being an Eagles fan, just coming out of that tunnel, you get the chills, and then you see him just running up and down the sideline. He's ready for he's just doing his routine. Where if he was just kind of favoring it or he was nervous or something, he just maybe sits there, waits his turn or something. Like, he just stayed with his routine. It's all it's great to see.
Yeah, I think he's going to be. I think we're going to see definitely a sharper guy next week, man, because he's got that confidence. He'll be in rhythm, and yeah, it'll be exciting to see.
Yeah, and Tennessee played pretty well this week, so hopefully he's ready to bring it. Yeah.
Yeah. What happened to Blake Bortles, man? He had such a great week last week, and then.
This is Blake Bortles. Yeah. He's the Blake Bortles that we thought he was.
Yeah. Channel your inner Dennis Green. That's Blake, baby.
Man. And then Garoppolo, man, went down.
Yeah, I was going to say that to you.
Jimmy G, man.
Another non-contact ACL.
Yeah.
Yeah, did they say? I didn't see that. Is that his left knee or right knee?
It was his left.
Yeah.
Put it in the ground and tried to get upfield instead of going out of bounds. And once again, we always talk the same thing with Carson. Like, guys are playmakers. It's they have to know when to fold them. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Yep.
it's okay to throw a ball away or go out of balance and just say, okay, go to the next play. Yeah, stay upright, avoid that.
I don't fault him for that.
No, you can't fault him for it.
I'm of the opinion he's going for it. That's freak, man. It just
I know.
Freak.
Depending on the situation, I don't have a problem with it. Like I think
it was third down.
I think he already had the first.
I
don't know the situation.
Turning it up for the end zone.
That's that's what I'm saying.
Well, I mean, obviously, look, it's awful now because he tore his ACL. But
I mean, he runs those two guys over.
Scores. Yeah, I was gonna say it was a big play at the time. They're only down like 11. They were coming back.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, Doc, I want to shift it to Alshon for a second, who's been practicing now for at least a week and a half. And I think he's doing everything it looks like but contact. And I'm assuming if he practices in full this week, we might see him next week in Tennessee. I mean, just your thoughts on, him being able to go out and catch passes over his head alone or catch him alone with the injury. If he's out there practicing with the team, I would assume he's close, or at least a week or two. What would you think?
Yeah, I mean, if he's got full range and full mobility, especially overhead, that obviously that's one of the first things he needs. And then he's got to be able to fall on that shoulder or take a bump to that shoulder. But it's kind of like Carson, man. It's at some point, you just got to get out there. And did you say he was cleared for contact this week? I missed that in practice, or is he still kind of restricted?
He's still kind of restricted, but I would assume either this week or within the next
he's been
week and a half
for a full week, right?
He's been practicing out there.
I think he's going to play next week. I think even if he doesn't do much contact this week, I think he's going to play next week.
Yeah, and they, just like the knee, they can give some support to that shoulder, so it's not going to limit his mobility, things like that. So that's some added level of protection they can give him.
And that was probably just something that maybe got stuck. That's more of a baseball injury, Doc. Obviously the rotator cuff, it's made famous through baseball, but it's just weird to see it. Not weird to see it in football. Just it's not from falling or anything. It's just he probably just got it stuck or something in the ground. I guess
Yeah,
Did they ever say
you can take a hit to the side of your shoulder, and that arm kind of gets kind of forcibly pulled across your body, and that just tugs on the rotator cuff. That can happen a bunch of times, and it eventually gives on you.
Yeah.
That type of thing. Doesn't have to be one isolated injury.
Gotcha. A little wear and tear. Yeah.
It's even harder in football to me to come back from that injury.
Yeah, especially a shoulder.
Just because of the hits.
The contact.
Well,
the contact.
I mean, it goes to our point what we were talking about a couple weeks ago. I understand that, Des Bryant isn't the kind of guy, and he might not be long in the tooth, but if Alshon could be one hit away, or it's just not there, it might not be there, So you should have as much. You try to get as much depth if you want, as you can.
And we need Alshon on the field. We really do. We miss him.
Yep.
It's pretty evident. We really can't get the ball to receivers.
No, we do. We just miss, I'm not going to say, wrong coverage, but the respect factor of just having him out there.
Well, he's a star.
Yeah, and you always realize when something's gone how much you miss it. You know what I mean? Even last year when he wasn't doing much, we knew as football guys with eyes that weren't, that we were like, hey, listen, if he wasn't involved, he was still drawing doubles.
Something.
He was still doing number one receiver things, even though the stats weren't there. Then he started to pick it up, and he was a monster, So just having him out there, just is huge.
Doc, I want you guys to think about this. I want to say this to all you guys before I forget about it. I was watching the Rams play today. Obviously, they're loaded. But just how Carson's season ended last year in LA, something tells me we're going to see them in LA. And it might be the NFC title game that we see where we see him in LA, and he goes back and wins that game in there, maybe get to Super Bowl. What do you guys think? That sound good?
I'd rather not see them in L.A.
Well, I'm just saying that's where it ended. He gets revenge.
I'd rather see him at home.
Absolutely.
Or not see them, period. Listen, that's a good team. But I'll tell you what, they lost Peters today, and the Talib got hurt at the end of the game. I don't know if he's hurt bad, but Peters looked bad. Peters was carted off, no weight on his leg.
Yeah.
So
I don't know what the injury was, but it looked bad.
Yeah, I mean it's
bad things happen to shitty people. Sorry, Marcus.
Yeah, it's only week
Achilles.
3. It's only week 3, but they should be on a collision course, I would imagine.
Oh, I mean, listen, they're
you saw
they're
the
good
Vikings
team.
today. The Vikings are still the Vikings.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Even though it's home and it's one game, that's what they do. You know what I mean? They
I
decide not to show up every once in a while. Last year was the NFC Championship game. Even Favre's magic. I mean, not Favre. Rodgers, he couldn't go on the road today, beat a team that just got their asses kicked. Now, that goes to your point earlier about the Colts being better. You know what I mean? The Colts went in there last week and kicked the shit out of the Redskins,
Yeah, they did. They dominated that game. And the Redskins kind of dominated the Packers today.
Yeah.
Packers didn't do that.
Yeah,
much.
they did.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, Paul, you have another talk coming up this Thursday, right?
Yeah, man, we do. We had last week a back talk. This week is the concussion talk with Dr. Chase and Dr. Frank. So that's actually getting some good registration and stuff. So that's good. I think that's a timely thing for all the fall sports, especially football and stuff, but definitely soccer and a couple other ones. Unfortunately, we're gonna see some things roll into our office with head injuries. People complain of headaches and dizziness, things like that happen after concussions. So. So this talk is timely, and hopefully it'll be informative for people who attend.
Yeah, it's funny you bring up soccer. You don't really think of soccer being a very contact sport and having concussion issues.
Yeah.
Constant headers. Constant headers.
What's up?
No, constant headers, I was telling.
Yeah,
give me a
it's
couple
interesting
things
about that. It's like, there's contact and there's collision sports, right? So I guess they're slightly different, but soccer, everyone thinks it might be the heading of the ball, but really it's, they look at the research of it. It's like head to the ground, head to head, or, I've seen head to goalpost, unfortunately, goalies diving. But it's
heads up.
People, what's up?
Yeah.
No, you're good, Doc.
Sorry.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Yeah. So people think it's like a lot of the heading of the ball, like heading of the ball causing like a single concussion. I think, especially young kids, if they head the ball a lot, like it's the cumulative effect of heading the ball over time, that probably is not the best thing. But heading the ball, in one time, is rarely the cause of the concussion. It's more of like head-to-head contact when both players go up for the ball. They miss the ball, but they collide together, against each other.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I got you.
It makes sense. We got a question for you, Doc, on YouTube from F Deems. He said, "What's the difference between an MCL and an LCL tear?"
The letters. No, I'm half joking.
The acronyms?
But it's true. LCL and MCL, the only difference, they're both collateral ligaments, right? So that means on the side, but the L is for lateral, meaning on the outside of your knee. So if you're said like left knee LCL, the left knee LCL is the outside of the knee, and the left MCL will be the inside part of the knee. But they both add stability to the knee, from a lateral standpoint. Carson Wentz tore his lateral ligament as well, right? So that was the added concern. The ACL is the major stabilizer, but then the MCL and the LCL are definitely important as well, to allow you to cut and move in different directions. So, that was kind of the concern going in is, do you give this guy extra time? Obviously, there's no doubt he was physically could do it, but whether or not, there was enough time for a full healing. So, I guess, he proved us wrong today. So, it was good. But that's the difference. I'm sorry. LCL, MCL.
Awesome. Got that, Deemsy? Look at this. Look at this answering the questions. So we were talking grades, Doc, before you came on, and if you want to give him a grade, we were giving him a little. We were tossing around. I think I had him in a B. I think the other guys had him around the C.
C plus. I had. I think.
And was that his performance today? Was that as expected? Less than expected. Where do you have all that stuff at? What'd you think?
Yeah, it's funny. I told my wife I gave him a B, and the reason being is he looked really good physically, but I think a couple factors affected his overall performance. I think one, they haven't played yet. The other was weather, whether it was the wet ball or the wet field. That's probably a factor. I'm not going to use that as a full excuse, but he obviously could have played better. But for everything considered, man. He did a pretty good job out there.
Yeah, I totally agree.
In my opinion.
I think he threw the ball pretty well. He showed escapability, and he got the win. So.
Yeah, that's it right there.
And what's he 13? Was he 13 out of his last 14 starts?
12, 13, I think.
Something like that. Yeah.
Or the Eagles, or maybe that was the Eagles at home. Maybe the Eagles are home, including the playoffs.
We're very good at home.
Yeah, 13 out of the last 14 we've won at home. But so I think he's 13-2. In his last 15 starts.
Seahawks.
Wow.
I think that's where he is.
Crazy, yeah.
Just winners. Just guys who go to locker rooms with wins.
Seahawks and somebody else. Huh.
It was smoke and mirrors today, too, guys. With nothing. Okay, you can talk about Ertz and you can talk about Nelly and Dallas, but with no running backs that are your starters. That's tough, especially in terms of protection and all that stuff in the backfield and guys you need to trust there. And then, no Alshon on the outside and no Mike Wallace. So, I mean, it is big-time difference in what it was last year when you had Torrey, Alshon, and Nelson all on the field at the same time with Ertz. Big difference in being able to spread the ball around. So excited to get these guys back. And, Jay was out with a back injury. And, Paul, what do you think? I mean, do you think that's something they let him go a little bit longer with? Maybe give him another, week, maybe 2 down?
You mean give Wentz a couple weeks off again?
No, Ajayi with his back.
Oh, Ajayi, yeah. It's funny, man. I'm watching the Lions game right now. Like, why did you guys ever talk about, like, why we let go of Blount? Like, was that, like, just he wasn't good enough or he was too old? Like, I think he would add a depth to the roster still? No.
No, we touched on it. I think at the time it was a money issue at the time. But then as the season got closer and they freed up money by reworking some of the contracts, it wouldn't have turned out to be the same. But I think at the time he didn't sign for what they wanted him to.
Oh, I see.
I think he had a good relationship with Patricia too from when they were in New England together, and he's always been I feel like he's on a new team every year, and he runs hard for every team he's on. Yeah. So I would love to cap him. I love the way he runs. Very physical.
Yeah, me too. I think it was just money with him.
Ajayi, man. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's hamstring, right? So, I mean, we have Sproles out with the hamstring too, still, right? I mean,
I think Ajayi's the back.
I think.
Sproles is back. Okay.
They might both be back next week. I feel like though. Like didn't they practice? I think Sproles practiced a little bit, even though his hamstring was tight.
And today was a terrible day. I mean,
you don't want to have a
decision before that, but it turned out to be terrible weather. So, and I think Ajayi is the back, right? That's what he left last week for. So.
Yeah.
Oh, he's back. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, then he should be. Hopefully, he's back then next week because I mean they don't have much depth there.
Yeah, we need him. We definitely need him for sure.
Because otherwise, they need another wide receiver. Where's Freddie Mitchell? Is he around?
He would be.
Fred X.
He would be. He probably heard this. He's probably sprinting over here right now because he heard it.
He might be working at FedEx now. There's a possibility.
That was my man. I love Freddie Mitchell.
4th and 26. I'm sure he probably still says that to people. You don't know who I am, 4th and 26?
And I expect Jordan to be, more involved in the offense moving forward too, with the injuries and him learning the offense as we move forward. I would expect it, at least a little bit. I mean, off the street, 2 catches today,
Well,
I can only see with their relationship, you would expect them to get some targets.
I'd like him to get cut.
Well, not with Aiken and Shelton Gibson and some of the guys who are out there.
I know we got Clay Aiken out there, but I don't. Jordan Matthews stinks.
I mean, obviously.
Oh, I know. Nobody's saying he's good. There's no crown here. I'm just saying I would expect him to get involved a little bit more with the injuries.
He caught the ball today that was thrown to him, so we'll give him that.
I'm not going to kill Doug because he's done a good job, obviously, over the last 2 years. But, like, at one point, does Nelson ever go deep? Like, I mean, come on. Like,
he used to last year.
I know. Don't tell me he's in a slot guy. Like, he can play the outside if he had to. Yeah. But even if he's in a slot, how about we run a wheel route? Can we run a go route or something? It just gives you. I don't know. It loosens up the defense. You'll be able to take the top off every once in a while. It keeps him honest.
Well, speaking of
plus
honest,
he can make a play.
Chrome says, I think Freddie inscribes his autograph still with 4th and 26.
I would hope so.
That's
people's champion, man.
Yeah, people's champ.
Sorry, watching the Lions.
Yeah, I think Detroit's about to score.
Yeah, there you go.
So, Paul, tell us one more about Thursday and where people can go to register and RSVP for you.
Yeah, sure. Great. Thank you. Yeah, so at Specialized Physical Therapy, the Cherry Hill office, 1919 Green Tree Road, we have a concussion seminar with Dr. Chase and Dr. Franks, 7 p.m. You can register by calling 856-424-0993 or go online at www.specializedphysicaltherapy.com/workshops.
Awesome.
Sounds good.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, thanks again, Paul, for another call in, and
you got it.
We'll talk to you next week.
Yep. Hopefully.
Sounds good, guys.
Doc, we're 2-1. Let's keep it up. Keep it up.
Hopefully, we're talking to you after another win next week, Doc.
Thanks, Doc. Take care, bro.
All right, guys.
Talk to you soon. So, everybody, that was Dr. Paul Vidal, Specialized Physical Therapy. You can find them on the web, specializedphysicaltherapy.com, or on Facebook, Specialized Physical Therapy LLC. If you're just joining us and you're jumping in and you want to know what the hell we're talking about, poll question-wise, what was your evaluation of Carson Wentz's first start since the injury? Better than expected, as expected, worse than expected? Let us know. Still, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Chime in. I know there's people out there, and they have a lot of concerns, and people are getting them out there right now, and we got to turn the read off still. People are talking about how we feel about Jalen Mills. I know Hunter Shannon. Would you guys take Mills out and put Jones in? Well, this is my thing. And Chrome's like, well, Mills needs to play the slot. Listen, if you don't think he's fast enough on the outside to cover some of these burners, you think he's going to go inside and cover them better, guys? He's not. So the option isn't for you to put Jalen Mills in the slot. The option is that, listen, he's your starter right now, and you're going to have to live with some of the mistakes and some of the physicality that gets him in trouble sometimes. You're going to have to live with it. And people are panicking like this team didn't win a Super Bowl with the same guys on defense last year. And everyone was all about, well, they gave up 500 yards in the Super Bowl. Yeah, I get it. The Tom Brady, all right, and the Patriots, all right, and in a neutral environment. Okay, big difference. This team's physical. This team gets stops. I like the emotion he plays with, and I'm not ready to run a guy out of town because things haven't been going his way the first couple weeks of the year. I know what he is.
Physical.
I know he'll give up plays.
Corner, and he plays well in the green zone. Okay, we'll call it the green zone since he's the Green Goblin. But I'll tell you what. Besides that, though, he's been getting beat a lot, and he holds all fucking day.
And I don't know if it's necessarily.
And he does. And he complains about holdings, and he holds all day. And he celebrates after every nonsense play he makes. Stop holding.
Which is 1,000 times Tommy's point. You know what I mean? Like, you got to chase a guy in a slot. Good luck with that. You know what I mean? Like, they're usually the most elusive guys in the league. You know
right.
What I mean?
And the other thing, too, and it's not just Jalen. I think it's all of our they do very well look at the ball. A lot of these the ball's on at least today. Receiver had to they're just not quick enough to where we can react and get a pick.
Some of the
something like that.
Nothing different than last year.
It's like it's got to be thrown right at you.
It's a lot of that's because he's beat and he's in full desperation recovery mode. Now Sidney made a great play in the end zone in desperation recovery mode today when he got beat off the line and the dude was wide and he got back just in time.
And if he turns around, he finds that football too.
He could have, but he was in such recovery mode he can't turn around.
I'm just saying, but yeah, I mean that's something that's been going on. I thought on the first PI call he did a good job again. His head turned around. He was just all over him.
Right.
The head got around, but he was wrapped around him.
They call that a TD.
But I mean, I think he's got to take some of that with what it is with him. The good with the bad.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm not saying there's not going to be an upgrade down the line there, but if you think you're going to be stacked at every position on your football team, you're fucking nuts.
Yeah, you're not going to.
There's going to be some holes.
And there's worse guys.
Yeah, there absolutely is.
There's worse guys.
Listen, I'll take my corners that can tackle. There's a reason there's the number one rush defense in football over the last year because all 11 guys on the football field tackle. And that's not a lie. Like, look at the tackles he made today in opening the field, right? There was like 2 or 3 of them that Jalen made in the open field that nobody wants to freaking talk about. You want to talk about the PI calls and all that? I get that. But talk about the good, too, because it wasn't just a burn fest like Byron Maxwell's of the world and Nolan Carroll's of the world. This guy's a legit corner in this league. I'm not calling him a Pro Bowler or overreacting on who he is, but his physicality I'll take. You got guys out there at the corner position that don't want to tackle nobody. So I'll take a guy that what we talk about gets his beak wet and isn't scared about getting physical, coming up in the box and going through linemen or whatever and making tackles. I think Sidney does a good job of that too. None of her corners are scared to lower her shoulder, and that's why you're the number one rush defense.
There was at one point, in the third quarter,
where in open field last week.
Who, Ronald? Yeah. When he wants to. I should preface it by when Ronald wants to tackle.
There was at one point in the third quarter was Sidney and Jalen were the only 2 outside with like 4 guys, and Sidney fought through an offensive lineman to hold the guy up.
He made a great play.
And then Jalen
celebrated like he made the play.
Right.
But Sidney made a phenomenal play on that.
But the 2 of them together.
No, we talked about them. Them two were outmanned over there, and they made a good play.
Yeah.
But that's if you got soft corners, that's a TD. Like, there's a lot. If you throw that pass in L.A. before Peter's Achilles, you throw that pass in L.A. and there's a lineman on him, he's down. That's a TD. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you think to go with the bad. Now, Peter's one-on-one on an island, you'll leave him there all day, right? Because cover skills, he can flat out cover you. But run skills, he's going to kill you. He kill you in the run game over time. He just does. But he makes up for it because he's such a great one-on-one guy. You know what I mean? You can leave him on islands. So you get Marcus Peters. So I'm saying you take the good with the bad with guys in a way. Now, he's better than Jalen, obviously. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, a lot better.
I understand that. But you take the good with the bad. Like some guys won't tackle, but they're great one-on-one guys. You know what I mean? Other guys want to tackle, and they get beat a little bit more.
He's not great one-on-one now.
Who is it?
See you, Marcus.
Oh, yeah. Well, the Achilles.
That'll do it.
It was an Achilles, too? That's a tough one to come back from.
Mike Parker says Wilson is asleep. You see my dude Tiger get that win today?
Yeah.
Call me when it's a major, Spidey. We told you we don't give a fuck about non-majors.
That's a big tournament.
It's not a major.
Oh.
It might as well be.
It's not, though.
You can't
So,
say
it
might as well
be
be a major.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, the top 30 in the world are playing in one tournament.
I mean, I got you, but I'm just saying it's not a major.
You're right. Next year, he's going to win a Grand Slam.
Yeah, if he's banging Paulina.
Paulina's going to help that one.
Yeah, if he's banging Paulina out.
Sure. That ain't happening.
Shaquan Getter says, what do you guys think about Lane Johnson getting worked on the O-line?
I could send him into another tailspin.
Yeah, real quick. What do you guys think?
What was that?
He said, what do you think about Lane Johnson getting worked on the O-line?
Sweeps hit it earlier. He mentioned that the offensive line was pretty bad today.
I thought Lane ran block really well, but it's tough to pass block in this league, and it was shitty weather. Now those are excuses, but I mean they struggled. They struggled pass blocking today for sure.
Yep.
And Marcus Hunt was a problem today.
Well,
he was all over the field.
Can we put a little bit of that into the running backs?
Reminded me of the old days of Freeney and Mathis.
Yeah.
I felt like it was 10 years ago.
Me too. Spin moves and shit, yeah.
Like,
Well, can I make a point, though?
And
I'm not making this as excuses, but a little bit with the backfield. Like, I mean, you know, some guys back there that are good pass blockers, right, that you don't have back there sort of then makes up for some guys getting beat one-on-one or whatever when now you have a bunch of guys back there that maybe aren't as good as Darren is at picking up pass blocking or Jay or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So does that matter a little bit?
Well,
With the O-line getting exposed a little bit today?
I think Carson being back, too, has a little bit to do with that because he's not so much 1, 2, 3 balls out. He wants to run around a little bit. He wants to skirt around.
He's going to wait for the big play.
He's going to wait for the big play. So
Absolutely.
now these guys are now pass blocking 4, 5, 6, 7 seconds where they're used to, you know.
Now, there was times they got blown up.
Listen, you know, but with your eyes can tell you that.
Yes.
I mean, I know what you're saying. I'm saying there's coverage sacks, and and then there's also getting your ass kicked.
Right.
And
they
were getting blown up. You know, they were in the backfield before that guy even had a chance to look one progression.
That one
you know
play,
what I mean?
That one play.
He might have been one progression in, and then it was like, oh, shit. You know what I mean? Out the back door.
Yeah.
You know, nobody goes out the
Hunt
back
was a
door.
monster today.
You know,
I just love how he was sideline to sideline in terms of Carson moving around the pocket. You know what I mean?
Calais Campbell.
How about this?
I didn't realize he was 6'8".
I didn't realize it either.
Boys, got to get this one
Monster
out.
sleepwalking.
Damian Price.
Look at
Go.
Patriots in trouble.
Go Dolphins from Australia. Oh. Fins up.
Down under.
Little shrimp on the Barbie. All right.
All right.
Yeah, it's Australia.
Go ahead.
No, I like it. No, I didn't have anything.
I just like the way I just thought he moved well in the
He just
pocket.
thought about
today.
shrimp. He was like, oh, shrimp.
The strength is still there.
Shrimp.
You know, to shrug guys off,
Barbie?
make guys miss in the pocket still there. So all them things, and then knowing that, I mean, you're only 9-10 months, away from the injury. You're only going to get stronger. Yeah. Cool. I mean, the rest of the NFL should have been put on notice today because Deshaun Watson is a shell of himself since the last injury, right? Can we agree there? Can we agree there?
I mean, some smart guys kind of said that was going to happen. I don't know.
Two's rough. One's tough enough.
Somehow we just got along. I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, we did. It's been a weird day. We didn't get along when you first walked in, but we got along ever since. Weird.
I don't like it.
I don't like it either. No. I don't like it one fucking bit. I like to choke you out right now. But that's what happens when wins. We're kumbaya, Daddy. We're kumbaya when dubs are going on.
If you're feeling froggy, then fucking leave.
You know how we are when we're winning. Things get heated when we're losing.
Oh yeah, but we're not losing though.
We're winning games. When we win games, you know how it is. It's kumbaya.
When we're losing, I don't even want to see you. I don't want to see nobody.
I almost
can't even watch TV.
I almost texted you guy and said, you know what? I'm out. I'm out tonight. Like if we lost there in the finals, I'm out. I can't even come talk about it. 1 and 2.
You would. You're that.
I'm that crumb.
Jacoby Brissett
I'm
comes in
that
to
crumb.
close the game.
He is that crumb.
If Brissett throws that Hail Mary, you won't see me for a week. You won't see me for a week. I'm hiding.
Well, I'll tell you what. I have an issue with us not getting the first down there. We got to get a first down.
We talked about that for 2 weeks.
Close it out.
Yeah.
The arm strength, and there it was right
Good
there.
luck, yeah.
There it was. It wasn't more evident.
You know what, though? He put zip on a couple balls today, though, where I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
But we also had a couple where you were like,
Yeah,
there was no zip on that
Yeah,
ball.
yeah. It's not quite Chad Pennington, but I mean it's really not what it was. You know?
Oh, I know. Maybe it's not Pennington, but it's
I know.
it's not great.
No, I know.
Chrome says sweeps. The Dolphins D looks legit, brother. Not saying they'll top the pages, but if Tannehill has a good year, they could make some noise in the AFC. I think we all agree there. They win games when he's in. Ralphie D says Cowboys getting Earl Thomas. I guess he's joking because I've been talking about it for a year now. James Wilder says Pats look awful.
Yeah, no, 3.5.
So that's a surprise, James. We really all were thinking that they come out and roll job tonight.
3 drives.
NFL's rigged.
It is.
Well, we knew that.
Mike Rural says, I don't like how Mills
Buffalo's gotta tell
showboats.
you all that.
That's why he doesn't like him. He's not that great to be doing that. He's not Patrick Peterson. Yeah, it's just a swagger he plays with, man. You know, I understand it's not, we're tough on perception here. Too much like, Donovan Smiles or this, that, and the third. Like, the guy's physical. There's nothing like we don't got to like him because he gets beaten. That's fine. And you can say he gets exposed. Like Rob Taramini trying to tell me earlier he gets exposed too much or he's a liability. I said, dude, you don't win Super Bowls with liabilities, babe. Okay? You don't win fucking Super Bowls with liabilities.
Wow.
The big-time liabilities, you don't. Big-time liabilities.
We're the only team to win a Super Bowl with up 500 yards passing.
and the other team would have been around the same boat if they won. You know what I mean? They could have won it where we almost threw for 500. What did Nick throw for? 3-something?
Yeah, that's fine. I'm just
making a point. Like it could have went.
Saying we did let up 500 yards in the Super Bowl. You're trying to make it out like we won a Super Bowl with him at corner. And we let up 500 yards in the Super Bowl.
I'm just saying this defense. There's upgrades always going to be out there, but you're not going to have a locked and loaded team. So you got to go to war with the guys you got, knowing that there's not an upgrade. There's not an upgrade on the team. There's not an upgrade out there right now. That replace him. So I'm going to go to war. I'm going to look for positives in this dude's game on why we can continue to win football games. And just think that Jalen Mills is not going to cost me a fucking football game. He's not going to cost me a football game. He might give up a big play, and corners do. But overall, we don't talk about him in the run game, how physical he is. Just get off. We got to get off of Jalen Mills. We got to move away. There's more to talk about. There's the offense. There's more continuity with 11 and all the guys. That's the stuff I want to dive into deeper. I want to look to next week, right? Because this defense. We know they're good enough. We know they're good enough. What else does it say about it?
It's something.
Our front four is going to make up for a lot of problems back there.
It's something to keep your eye on. I mean, we always say that. I always ask you guys, hey, listen, is this team good enough right now? And the answer should be no. All right, but it's 3 weeks in, so everybody has that question mark.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
but let me tell you this:
don't make anything. Don't make any different. Right?
But the way this team is, the way this team's gotten through, though,
that swagger, and I know you believe they're better than anybody, and that's okay.
Well, I'm just saying the way with getting through the way they have it, 2-1, with the losses they have and the injuries they have, to be 2-1 right now. That's pretty fucking remarkable to me.
And besides,
so
you don't,
when you get all the dogs back, I would expect us to be, the best, if not the second best team in the NFC, easy.
And the biggest takeaway from last year, besides
you had 7-3.
Besides,
if Carson didn't come back till week 10,
that was before all the injuries. That was before all the rest. You're talking about no Ajayi, no Sproles, no Alshon. Shut the fuck up.
He was talking us like 8-2.
Hold
about to week 11.
Thanksgiving.
We'd be fucking 2-8.
That was before the season.
But besides,
before the season, wake up both of you.
Besides,
that was before everybody was out.
Besides the Super Bowl,
it was 1 week ago.
No, it was before all the injuries.
Oh no, it was after.
It was before Ajayi.
We won the first game.
It was before Ajayi and Sproles being out.
I'll give you that.
They had been out. That's a big freaking loss.
It was after we won the first game.
Shut up. Yeah, it was when the two running backs, before the two running backs were out. Geniuses. I want to take shots.
Flea flicker.
Pull tape.
Jim Bob Cooter.
Obviously, one
football guy.
One leads to the other. But last year, obviously, winning the Super Bowl, was fantastic. But it showed you, besides that, is that they know how to win now, and that's that's bigger than anything in this league. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And
closing
that
out
ties
and winning.
That ties into the red
we
zone
did
defense.
It happened again today. Again today.
Until
teams don't score on us late.
Yeah, until last year.
Now, granted, we're playing with
fire. They'll find a way to lose those games.
Right.
That the Falcons playoff game that they won. Falcons this year.
Winners win.
This year. I mean, that's from the 4-yard line they won today. You know what I mean?
And again,
that's what happens.
Yeah.
But good teams find ways to get there. They find ways to get in there.
This league's pretty even, man. It comes down to a couple plays every week.
Lenny Robinson's got a great one. What up, man?
What up, L. Rock?
He said, and we didn't talk about this, and I'm surprised because Rodney's one of my guys. I like Rodney. He said, if McLeod is out long, I'm calling Eric Reed. What's up, fellas? And I said, I'll go pick him up. I'll go pick up Eric Reed. If McLeod was out long, no question. And now there's
is he on the market?
Yeah, I think
he's
so.
A free agent still?
I think he
no
was.
one signed him?
No.
Wow.
He got
He's
smacked
getting
because of it.
lumped in.
Yeah, he's getting lumped in.
He's getting lumped in.
And that's a good football player. That's not a guy who shouldn't be in the league. That's a guy who definitely should be in the league.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's Cap
not like-
there's
he's
Cap
not
not
like-
being good
he's
enough,
not like
and there's Eric
Kaepernick, who
Reed,
stinks.
which is bullshit.
Yeah.
Like that to
Kaepernick
me.
stinks.
Cap-
Reed can play.
Reed's a borderline Pro Bowler type caliber
Absolutely.
guy. Depending on where he's at situation wise, got the talent
He
to
was
be
getting
one.
beat deep, I think, but he's
This is
definitely can play a little bit.
This is why they'll never win that. They should lose that case because there's just too many bad players in this league for that not to happen. You understand?
Yeah,
So
absolutely right.
you can say whatever you want about Cap, and I don't like him one bit.
Yeah.
But a guy was starting Thursday until a hero came in. And so when you see a guy like fucking Tyrod playing, you're like, geez, and crackers. This guy's got to win his case.
Right,
This guy's got to win the collusion case.
He threw 22%. His completion percentage was 22% last night.
Woo!
You know, he's got to win it.
19 yards before they went to the hook.
Think about some of the bad D-backs in this league, too. The bad defensive backs in this league, and Eric Reed doesn't have a job. I mean, that's a problem. Chrome said, before we head over to YouTube and the site, Chrome says in 2 years, Dallas and Ertz may be the best tight end tandem since Gronk and that Crumb Hernandez. I agree, brother.
I don't know. That Gronk Hernandez was fucking dangerous,
was
man.
pretty-
They were killing people out there.
Literally. Murder was the way.
On and off. Yep. Oh, that's an on and off thing. That's a double dip.
Count it.
That's a double dip. That's
You
a double.
can't put one on the team for the big guy.
I needed you.
Guys always doing teamwork, all right?
It's the only thing you can hit. That's why he spends so much time on the tee.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Some guys know their limitations. Guy was a tee junkie. It's all he could. He put on a T-shirt. That's about it. You get to even a front toss, he struggles. Jamie Lasher said, I think it's time we bring Rasul Douglas into the safety role. I don't know. I mean,
I'll take it.
Yeah.
It's not true, but I'll take it.
Oh, what? Being a T guy, that's it?
Again, we'll go over this. O for his lifetime versus me in anything physically. Never beaten me. O for lifetime.
With the cheap shot.
Who do you guys think the safety? Oh, Rasul. Lenny thinks he's a ball hawk.
Lenny!
And he'd be a ball hawk at safety, too.
He is a ball.
Absolutely.
He always finds his way. He finds it's like nose on the ball. Every time
He
gets in
showed
the game.
that at West Virginia, and then obviously a pick in week one on
week
Matty
one,
Ryan.
Because he found the ball.
Yeah.
That's it. Find a football.
Yeah.
Especially with this front four, the way they can go get you, or front eight, with the way they can go get you at times. Get your head turned around. Expect the football out quick. You know, and I think that's what drives us crazy with the 10-yard cushions at times. When other teams notice front four. You know, you think other teams aren't game planning all week and say, yo, our job is the ball out quick. The ball out quick. You want to slow down a great pass rush? Ball out quick. You think other teams aren't talking about that? They absolutely are. So, to me, that's why I want to see a little bit more press. Use Jalen and Ronald to their strengths, right, which are press guys, physical at the line of scrimmage. Use them to their strengths. Don't use them to their weaknesses. You think Jalen in the open field is great man-on-man, one-on-one? No. But he'd be great man-on-man up and bumping you.
Yeah,
and having the ability within 5 yards to manhandle your ass a little bit.
When he can get a shovel and a receiver.
Stuff he can win. Stuff he can win. So to me, like, okay, if you think Ronald's a better guy off the ball, you play one side off and one side up, right? You play your corners to their strengths. You don't play them to their weaknesses. You don't leave them out on islands one-on-one thinking that's what they are so that we can come on and fucking roast them because they get burnt by D-Jack or whoever else because there's not safety help. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, well, that's on the safety. They should have had safety help there. Everyone in the fucking country knew they were going deep to Jackson as soon as he was named active for the game. Yeah.
Listen, Mike, I agree with Rasul and Sydney are better than him talent-wise. Yeah, but I don't think you can make it. You know, we need to see Rasul more of a sample size to go Crown City here. But, I mean, obviously we know Sydney's pedigree. He better be. And what it looks like right now, he's going to be. But you can't switch the two. Why hurt another position to strengthen another one when you got a guy who's played there for the last 2 years, right? On the outside.
It's like when they used to move Malcolm to corner.
Yeah, why? Sydney can play the slot right now.
Worked up, move Malcolm to corner.
Linebacker.
That's why I drive to fucking Jim's house. You want to see Aaron Hernandez shit? That's why I drive to Jim's house. Okay, keep him off. Keep him out. Keep back where he belongs.
Click clack. NFL's here. Click clack.
Reload.
But you just can't hurt a position to try to make another one better. So, like, yeah, Sydney at one point is going to be your outside guy moving forward in the next year, right? Or maybe two. Yeah. All right? We get that. But right now, he's playing really good in the slot because speed guys got to be in the slot, babe. So, Chrome, I love you. And you say, well, linebackers are more in the slot, so I'll help him out when talking to Jalen. No, it's not unless you're running zone all the time, which means you can never go man with him in the slot. You never go man with him in the slot. So, I don't know. I just leave it where it is. Let them try to get better as a whole. And last year we were 26 in pass defense. All right? Let's try to get better from that. All right? That's all we can hope for. We're still number 1 against the run, and we're going to hang our hat on that, babe. And we're going to hang our hat on when you get inside our 20 or our green zone. You're coming out with 3, and if you kick field goals all game, you're going to end up losing because we got a fucking baby goat on the other side. That's what's going to happen. Hashtag baby goat talk. No notes in the making of my chest feeling it was coming out of my body.
Until it becomes, it's something to be aware of, like we were talking about, and but until it becomes a glaring issue or it costs you a football game, then there's really no reason to make a change yet. You know what I mean? You try to get better every week, and you hope you put him, like you said, put him in some spots to be successful. But really, there's only a handful.
Bad as the penalties were today, and he got beat a few times. He made 2 nice plays down by the goal line.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
And guess what? That wins you the game.
Yep. You're going to give up plays in this league, fam.
Yeah,
There's corners all over this league that got beat today. Go look at all the passing yards thrown today by all the quarterbacks. A lot of guys got beat all around football today.
Dude, it's a tough position. I was going to take
it.
I was going to take it.
Get paid in this league.
Yeah, I was going to take it.
And the quarterbacks get the highest paid.
I was going to take it even a step further. Like in the history of the NFL, yes, there's been plenty of good D-backs, but even those guys that are lockdown Hall of Fame guys that became shutdown corners is because the other teams are scared. I'm telling you, if you threw at the guy, if you would throw at Dion and Revis in his prime a lot, it might not be a wise decision, but you're gonna complete some balls.
You're gonna get enough.
Just nobody went that way. So like, hey man, don't go that way.
Because once you get a couple 90 to the houses, guys are like, stay away. Now it's really an island. When you start, you're here going in the end zone. You know what I mean? Guys are like, all right, let's stay away from that guy. I agree. Guys are going to get beat. But am I saying, people misconstrued what I say as that I'm making him out to be a better corner than he is. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not making him out to be a better corner than he is. I'm just going to stick up for my guys I got to go to war with.
Tom's giving him a handy, okay? It's
fuck
fine.
the handy.
It's fine.
It's
the
a
handy
blowy.
is dandy.
Dion wants to know who will get cut
Working on that wrist.
when Alshon comes.
Look at their wrist.
When Alshon comes back, I think he'll probably
he's
be
on the roster.
Oh yeah, because he wasn't on the pup.
No, he wasn't on the pup.
What, Dion? Yeah, I don't think he was on the pup, brother.
No, I mean, they might make him move, but they don't. It's not because of Alshon. He's already on the roster. He's just not. The only move is made.
They didn't pump
is who's dressing.
They popped Hollins.
Yeah,
Hollins got
Hollins a pup.
It's just who's dressing.
So if Hollins
Nigel
comes
was
back,
suspended.
Dion, then I think it would be probably Aiken, if I had to guess.
Yeah, Clay Aiken.
When Hollins and Alshon are both back, I would think it would be Aiken because I think Jordan's going to be on this team this full year. You know what I mean? That's just my opinion. I think he's better than Aiken anyway. I'd rather have Jordan Matthews out there as my fourth receiver than Aiken.
I mean,
you're an idiot.
I could care less about either one of them.
Well, as my fourth receiver, we're talking about, so we're not crowning. We're just saying who would you rather have as your fourth receiver. I'd rather go with Jordan Matthews. Well, it'll be Mac. It'll be when he comes back. I made all this as when Mac comes back.
Mac Hollins, okay.
Okay, yeah. So it'd be Alshon, Nelly, Mac, Jordan. I'm better with that than Aiken. I don't even want to see Aiken on the field. I can't. Has he caught a ball yet this year? You know what I mean? Like, what do you have to do?
Nice block today.
Yeah, it's great.
On a ball to the outside.
I would have sworn Jordan would block too. You know what I mean? Downfield.
He's a crumb.
Might be. James says, night, boys. Great show. Don't forget the fam. Second half continues on YouTube. Look at him wrap in. Night, brother.
Later, bro.
Good night. Sleep tight.
All right, Canada.
Don't let the bed bugs bite.
Don't let the moose bite.
Chrome says, is Marcus Wheaton technically still on the active roster? I think he got cut, right? Or they signed him back. He didn't get cut. They signed him back. He might be, Chrome. Lenny Robinson says, you got locked up on a reputation. I don't know what he's talking about.
Corners, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Corners, yep.
That's exactly.
And Chrome said, yeah, they signed him back a week before week one. And then Deion says, yeah, that's right. My bad, guys. No, I forgot.
No, you're fine.
I thought he was on the pup for a second, too. I don't know why. But, yeah, that's fine. I expect Alshon back this week.
Well, again,
I do. I think
Max
too. I think Max
he's got to be.
What, back?
Yeah. Because you wasted a roster spot for a guy
6 weeks.
For 4 weeks,
for
yeah.
4 weeks.
Before then, yeah.
You know, in
but
that way.
5, really.
That way you're not
That's
hamstrung.
it,
You know what I'm saying? Like, I just think he's got to be back this year to make this work.
Oh, absolutely.
Or else you shorthanded your team.
Or you should have got that. Yeah, or you
go out and get that.
Yeah, or you should have got that.
Because it's Titans bye, then Vikings, right? That's why I said 5 weeks, right? Or no? Is the bye later?
Bye is.
Bye is after. No, I think there is. I think you have 2 buys.
I thought it was Titans.
Well, they have a bye after England.
We don't have 2 buys. Our buys after England game.
Is that the only one?
Okay.
Yeah.
For some reason, I thought that it was week 5 too. But I knew there wasn't one after England.
What up, Devin? Devin says.
I think they set it up that way that you automatically, if you play in England, you have a bye the following week.
Devin says, what have I been missing not being a part of this group? Welcome, fam. Welcome in, brother.
What's up, buddy?
Just the best.
Yeah, just the best. You know what I mean? You missed a lot, though, but now you're going to get it all. Dion says, I can see.
Big, hairy
I can see Aiken being the guy.
I wake up in the morning and I piss excellence.
What are you talking about,
That
Parker?
doesn't mean
I don't know what Parker's talking about.
I said with all due respect, that doesn't mean you can say whatever you want. Yes, it does.
What did Dion say?
I don't know what the fuck he said now. Oh, he said, that's right, my bad, guys. And he said, I can see Aiken being the guy out.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Number 81.
Play Aiken.
And then Jordan can get his number back. And then everybody out there that's the Jordan lovers will be happy again. They can rock their shitty jersey.
T.O.
All right, boys, we're going to head over to YouTube, over to the site. Jump over with us there. We'll still be answering all the questions, reading everything off for all the family just tuning in. It's Agree, Disagree, A2D Radio. I'd like to thank our Sunday sponsor, Dr. Paul Vidal, for jumping on with us, talking some injuries around the league, obviously talking Carson. You can find him online, specializedphysicaltherapy.com, right on Facebook, Specialized Physical Therapy, LLC. If you're on the book, you're on the gram, you're on Twitter, subscribe, follow. Listen, the best in the goddamn fucking business. Come join us. Be a part of our goddamn dinner tables, right? 2-1, and we're jumping over to the second half over on YouTube. Agree, Disagree, A2D Radio. See you on the other side.
Hi, folks. Bob Mannery here. You're listening to A2D Radio, real sports talk radio for the fans, by the fans, no agenda. These guys are the best in the business. Hashtag it. No notes. Hi, folks. Bob Mannery here. You're listening to A2D Radio, real sports talk radio for the fans, by the fans, no agenda. These guys are the best in the business. Hashtag it. No notes.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Hi, folks. Bob Mannery here. You're listening to A2D Radio, real sports talk radio for the fans, by the fans, no agenda. These guys are the best in the business. Hashtag it. No notes. Hi. Hi, folks. Bob Mannery here. You're listening to A2D Radio, real sports talk radio for the fans, by the fans, no agenda. These guys are the best in the business. Hashtag it. No notes. Folks, Bob Mannery here, and you're listening to Agree to Disagree, the flagship, only on A2D Radio. Uncle Sweeps, Nick Delgazzo, the legendary Brian Wilson, and the fucking man himself, Tom Arnone. These three guys from Jersey bringing you real talk with no agenda. You don't like them? Tough shit. It's their show, and they're going to say whatever the hell they goddamn want.
Patricia's like mine's bigger.
Mine's longer, Daddy. Agree, disagree.
Go hook up with your daughter again.
A2D Radio. Live from the Real Talk Studios. Brought to you every Sunday by our doc, Make 'Em Yours, Specialized Physical Therapy, LLC. Find them on the web, specializedphysicaltherapy.com. Dr. Paul Vidal. We have him on. Little.
That's golden.
I'm pretty sure this already happened.
That's what they call golden.
Analog. So we'll have him on every Sunday, breaking down injuries. Tom Arnone, Nick Delgazzo, Brian Wilson, Greg Moakovic, Robbie Pove on the ones and twos. Family out there. If you're just joining us, we did a little Carson Wentz breakdown. We recapped Eagles Colts a little bit. We'll continue to talk about it. But our poll question brought to you by Scanzano Sports. What was your evaluation of Carson Wentz's first start since the injury? Better than expected, as expected, worse than expected? Or if you got something else, please enlighten us, because we would love to know what that is. Or just give us a grade, A, B, C, or D, or whatever you want. Or if you got an F because you're like Kyle, a.k.a. Nitrofeek, and you're a hater, he might throw an F around here. You never know. We'll be answering. We're now over to the YouTube side of things, so we'll be talking a lot to you, family over there. Talking a lot to you. Anything else you guys want to talk about? Well, 5 questions with Robbie at the end. Obviously,
you mean Jim Leland?
Yeah.
fucking heater. Got a fucking heater right there.
Jimmy. What's up, Jimmy?
Right in the cockpit with a fucking heater. Look at that. I love it.
Cockpit talk.
Heater talk.
Heater talk. We'll still do Eagles-Colts recap. We'll give a little preview. Eagles-Titans. We'll give our score prediction since we're not going to be on Sunday morning. We'll be on Sunday night. But starting in November, when November comes around, when it hits. And there's
Pre-game show.
Pre-game. And there'll be a lot of excitement on the pre-game.
The best month in the world. The best month of all.
November?
Yeah.
It's a good one.
It's a great month.
It's my birthday month.
The month sucks.
You doing a birthday month?
Yeah, I do birthday month.
Back to the whole
That
fucking
and Thanksgiving.
month.
I mean, the best holiday, too.
Say, I'm more excited for Thanksgiving than your
Thanksgiving's
birthday.
the best
but
holiday.
I mean, I see where you're at.
Yeah,
I'm more excited.
you get both.
This time of year, I'm redemption mode. You know what I mean? So
I love a good Thanksgiving.
this is the season in November where the kid wants to shock the world.
Is he talking redemption? Man? Kid threw 10 picks last year.
There's no 10 picks.
Redemption is
Relax.
5.
Relax. Redemption is
Yeah,
5.
you did throw 10 picks.
I'm a gunslinger. We came back that I know.
Oh, shit.
He's dead.
I take chances.
Helmet? Do we
I
helmet?
try to thread needles.
Halftime.
Yes, I'm pretty sure.
They don't score.
Ryan Broder says, poll question as expected. TTP said that the Niners want
Well,
to
'cause I'm
contend
playing
this
Tate, I'm like,
season.
I don't want that.
Foles is their best bet.
Let's
As
go.
of right now.
Let's go.
So he's talking about the trade.
Trade for Foles.
Trading for Foles. Deem says they aren't going to just trade it. If you expect a first, you're out of your mind.
Yeah, look, they're
And I
going to offer
agree.
us a
Yep,
fourth.
Deemsy.
They're going to call and say fourth round, and we're going to say no because we're not idiots.
Yeah, you could have gotten a first in the offseason, though. That's all I'm saying.
Listen, if you're the San Francisco 49ers, you're not good enough anyway.
Yeah.
That was hot
That's
porridge.
what I'm saying.
Oh, no, that was hot porridge. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Newsflash. Newsflash to Niners Nation. Newsflash to Niners Nation out there. You're not as good as you thought you were anyway. I mean, you won games down the stretch that were meaningless last year. I wanted to see how this team came out in meaningful football to start the season. They didn't look good. Not at all. All right, he didn't look like the franchise guy to start the year off. That's all I'm saying.
Now,
like he did at the end of last year. There's no excuses.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
They got Bell a little bit of bad news with the McKinnon injury right before. But to your point, you're absolutely right.
Franchise guys come out and sling, and guys who get big money come out and sling early on, and they let everybody know they're worth every penny. Now, I'm not saying he can't sling it. I'm not saying he can't sling. I'm saying that team as a whole.
Well, he went one of the games he went to was in Minnesota, which we know that unless you're Josh Allen, you don't really go in there and win. So, I mean, so shame on me for even bringing that up. But that was one of the games.
No,
Today
you're
he had
right.
to go to Arrowhead.
You're right. I don't want to crush. I'm not trying to crush the
He
guy.
was slinging today, though, before you got hurt.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm just saying that team as a whole isn't as good as I think people wanted
agreed.
to make him out
No,
to be.
and he also didn't have Marquise Goodwin until today, and now it doesn't matter because he's out.
So my point is, like, they're not going to go out and want to like give up a lot for Foles because they think they can win right now. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think they can think they're in win now mode. If I'm front office and I'm John Lynch and I'm the higher ups there,
definitely.
I'm thinking, you know what? Okay, we'll go get a top 5 pick then. Again, you know what I mean? And we'll just keep adding on to what we have, right? And that's how I got to look at it if I'm John Lynch and I'm the front office in San Francisco. All right, we'll go win freaking 3 to 5 games and we'll go get a top 5 pick and we'll go that route. You know what I mean? And we'll just build around Jimmy even more so. Simple. Dean said Jimmy G couldn't do anything behind that line. What the fuck is Foles going to do behind them? Probably nothing. Ryan says, call the Raiders and see if we can get Marshawn Lynch.
What? I mean, I would like it from a comedy standpoint, but
I don't know.
I mean,
I don't want to listen.
the dude's just one of the funniest guys alive. I mean, the dude's a comedy guy. I mean, he's a great guy.
He's brutal.
He's funny.
He doesn't say anything.
I'm here so I don't get fined.
I'm here so I don't get fined,
Yeah.
boss.
Yeah, well, whatever. I mean, I don't.
That's hilarious to me.
I mean, obviously, it's your LeGarrette Blunt
type of guy, yeah.
You know, if you're looking in that direction, but you know, the Raiders are a team that you can call right now because, in my eyes, they should be.
I would say
they
John,
should be looking to acquire as many picks as possible.
I would say John's throwing fucking chairs off the Titanic. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's ready. Whatever.
Pass rushers are hard to find.
How about that?
So you trade the best one.
Is that great? Gruden Bear jerseys, number 52.
Yeah,
that is awesome.
Just troll game 100.
That is awesome.
Deem says they have been in games. It's a defense mostly, also the line. Talking about the Niners, so you know, but they still coming out with else. And a team that was expected. A lot of people had them as.
There's a lot of
at Minnesota. They won at home against Detroit, and then obviously today went to Arrowhead, facing a hot.
Patty Mahomes.
They played Kansas
lightning
City
on.
at Minnesota. Tough game.
Yeah. Yep.
Joshua Rosado says, does anybody else enjoy watching the Cowboys crumble? Absolutely. Mike
I
Parker.
don't even
Maybe
have to
not
watch.
Pove, but-
I saw this shit coming for a year.
Mike Parker says Lynch is retiring in his hometown. in his last season in Oakland. So Parker just thinks he's going
No,
to retire.
I agree.
TTP says, you have the best running back in football, Roscoe. Why? He's talking about Gurley. Yep. So, I just got choked.
Oh, my bad.
No, it's all right. Choke City.
No, go under.
Choke City. Well, you got to go under. I can't go under. Some people do. Some people are into that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So a little preview to next week.
Was that a Jack David Chappelle, by the way? Sorry.
No, it was
Not
a
to cut you
fat
off.
David Chappelle.
Okay. He had a beater on. He looked kind of.
No, it's just a little fat.
All right. So a little on the next week, boys.
Yeah.
We're robot dicking right now.
You can say whatever you want. On the
Kid's
next
got
week.
Kid's got a cloud.
On the next week.
Fucking in Cheech and Chong film over there.
I'm trying to get healthy.
Yes, keep going. I'll be here. Let me know when we're ready.
How can he
It's
see?
funny.
This could be a while. It's going to be a while for everybody out there.
The Silver Surfer. All right. You're going to have to go.
Well, I'm not going to go.
Coming.
I'm not going to go. I already told you. I'm not going to go.
I promise I'm done.
Just
The
pecking
floor is
away,
yours.
little robot chicken.
There'll be one more.
Listen.
There'll be one more.
End scene. I'm done. I'm a professional.
Sixer JT says the Titans don't look good at all. Well, they beat a Jags team in a physical game.
Titans
today.
look physical on defense is what they look.
Yeah.
Now they are. Listen, I think we all agree that we don't think Marcus Mariota is a very good player, but they are a physical team. They did get what's called back today, which is big for them. Granted, they only scored 9 points, but the Jags are a tough fucking defense.
Oh yeah,
we know that. But they got one of the linemen back. One of them's out for the year. Is Conklin out for the year?
Conklin's out for the year.
The other one they got back, they're both really good.
Taylor Lewan.
Taylor Lewan.
Came back today, and that's big for them. I mean, you're both if you're out
They're
without
two
both
top
tackles,
10 picks.
Yeah.
and they're both really good players.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, they're
I
banged
would
up
expect
too.
them to try.
Delaney Walker's
They're
that's huge.
gonna run the ball a lot. I think. You probably Mariota, probably with the big guy Henry and with the little guy Deion Lewis. So. I expect a physical football game, but we should beat them.
Well, listen, when you tie, you come right in our hands. You know what I mean? When you want to be a team that runs the football against a team that prides herself in stopping the run and the number one rush defense in football, I mean, that ties into what we like to do well. So, I mean, I think everything points to a win Sunday. Now, it's obviously early in the week because we just got done this one.
Yeah.
But everything points to us being able to go down there and get a win and get to 3-1.
It's just how does the defense come out?
On the road again, like
on
we
the
talked
road,
about. Yep.
Against another physical team. Now, are they as talented as us? No. But
they weren't as talented as the team they played today
but
either.
They weren't as talented as Jacksonville, and you can't tell me Buffalo is as talented as Minnesota either. So, how does our defense respond on the road? And how I do agree. I expect a win. I of course hope we get a win. I will be there.
Oh, it's two things.
I'm heading down for the game.
It's two things that that they do. The thing they do well, and the thing that the Eagles do well. So now it's see what happens. Head to head.
They like to run it.
They
We like
run
to
the
stop the
football.
run,
They ran
so.
for 160 today, or 150, or 160. They ran for today, and so we'll see.
Well, I'm interested. I'm interested in a team
you
that
make Marcus one dimensional. They're in trouble.
I'm interested in a team that wants to run the football and prides himself in running the football and how we handle that challenge.
For Miami,
Too.
they pick Grant.
Yeah.
As a great run defense, I want to see how we handle the challenge of a team that doesn't go away from the run.
And that's what
that sticks to it, because the Titans are going to stick to the running game. They're not going to go away from it.
And that's what you hope travels regardless of how well the defense plays, is the run part of the defense.
Well, it should.
Should travel.
They love their game that they played today. I mean,
Yeah.
I know they won, but take that out of play. They love the game that they got today. They love
Oh,
it.
yeah.
They love that.
They want to win.
That's a Mike Vrabel staple.
Yeah.
That's a Mike Vrabel staple from his 1 year at Ohio State. Like they were brutal, but they were physical.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And that's what he is. He's off that Belichick tree. He wants to pound the football.
Yeah,
And he wants to play good defense.
I mean, and they're built to pound the football, though. That's what they have a big running back. They have and they have Deion Lewis, who's capable of doing a lot of things. He's a good player in this league, has been for years, and
Except for when
they
he beat the
had.
Eagles.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
he
why
was-
the Delaney Walker.
I think he was all right.
That's
when
why
he
the
was with
Delaney
Eagles. I
Walker
think he
injury.
was
He was hurt. Yeah, he
That's
was
why
hurt.
to me the Delaney Walker injury.
Oh,
is a
it's
killer.
huge.
Because
He's their.
that sets up the play
He's
action.
the same thing
That
that
sets
Ertz
you to
is
play
for
action.
us.
Yeah.
He was our biggest.
He's their biggest mismatch on the field.
Yep.
And Corey Davis hadn't done much yet, and he's supposed to be really good, but he hadn't done much yet. So
I think Rashard Matthews has been back.
Like really, Jalen, this should be a week for your boy. We gotta see now. Jalen should fucking cover well this week. They don't have a very good receiving core.
Right.
Okay, if he's getting beat bad this week, then we might have an issue. But hopefully he comes to play.
Well, listen, the entire defense we talk about, they're not as good on the road as they are at home. And that's something when I want to be a top defense in football and I want to call myself a number 1 or 2 defense in football, I have to travel well, right? I can't get picked apart on the road and be dominant at home, right? I got to do the same way and the same intensity, the same swagger you play with at home, you got to play on the road. I want to see this team go down there and shut down an offense that they should be able to shut down. That's what I want to see. Now, if they give up 10 points, fine. 14, fine. Yeah. But nothing higher than that.
20 plus, you're a little concerned.
Yep.
Right.
20 plus, I'm like, whoa. Now we got to talk about everything.
And you have to
17, 14 or under, right where I think they're going to be. I think they're probably around 10, 14.
Yeah.
That's the kind of offense they have. But, I think we can score 21 to 24 points against this team.
If we limit turnovers, we should beat this team.
If you think the environment is probably going to be very similar to Tampa, I think it's a very popular road trip for a lot of Eagles fans.
Oh, it's a big one.
Yeah, they circled it last year.
Yeah.
So you hope it's almost not necessarily feels like a road game. You hope that they feel that.
Well, you would hope in Tampa too.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like it was similar to Tampa.
I know tons of people that were in Tampa, but going to a few people I talked about, they just talked about how hot that game was.
Yeah.
Like people in the stands were talking about like they just walked the concourse a lot because it was just a scorcher.
Right.
No, that's not, I'm not talking about the loss. I'm just saying that was a scorcher.
It's tough to get going when they score 75-yard TD on the first play. But this is the big like all the people that go to one trip each year.
Yeah.
This is a big one. This is the one that all the guys that are in like Mount Ethan area, I know they're all going. Yeah. There's a ton of people going.
Yeah.
Joshua Rosado, limit turnovers and penalties. Yep. That's a huge way to be successful on the road. TTP could have had his legs taken out. Talking about the hurdle, Josh Allen hurdling earlier.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Oh, shit, yeah.
Slinging.
Slanging.
To show everybody on why the hell you started Nathan Peterman over you to begin with when you draft a guy that high. But that's a story for another day. And then, I love what the Cardinals, the mess of an organization they are. You want to then, you don't want to start Rosen at all, right? You want to go sign Bradford, whatever, okay? You want to play all that cute game and give him a ton of money.
16-14 with 2 minutes ago.
That's when you're going to bring it in?
Yeah.
That's when you say, you know what? We're going to wet your beak in this situation.
And the best part is,
hey, kid, go win a game, kid.
And Sammy, first quarter, 2 TD passes. Look at sleeves. That's why we brought him in.
Go win a game, kid.
Cleo gets to put his hand in the ground.
You can't make stuff up in this league.
The nose.
You can't make stuff up how some guys have jobs in this league. And you just scratch your head.
Yep.
Yeah, you have no right having a job in this league where that's where you think the best. That's when you think the best spot to put your quarterback in is. No, you start him. You give him all the reps during the week, right? You let him be your guy during the week. Yep. That's importance of getting ready for the week. They talk about guys who don't get full reps during the week. They're a little sloppy. Look, Rodgers is a goat, right? Rodgers is a goat. When he don't practice all week, he's not as good. It's not him. It's everybody. You got to practice a little bit to be able to be really successful on the top of your game on Sundays. It's tough to not practice at the quarterback position or other positions and expect to be able to get it done.
Not the game.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like it's tough. He hasn't practiced.
He did take first team reps.
Not until Saturday.
Wednesday. No, not. No, I'm not talking about Aaron. Sorry.
Oh yeah, I was talking about Aaron.
I'm sorry. I was talking about
Rosen.
Yeah.
Oh, he did.
He did.
So they were starting to think about it. Yeah.
Okay.
Think about
on my way out.
Think about it halftime. Like if you're gonna bring him in at halftime.
You know what happened? You know what happened? The rest of the league said, you know what? The rest of the teams that went early and drafted their QBs, the rest of them said, you know what? It's time.
Yeah.
And when all the rest of them went out and did well, they're like, oh fuck. They're like, wow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I almost think they're watching their scoreboard watching in Buffalo being like, oh my God, we missed. We got to see if we missed.
Yeah.
We got to see if we missed. Josh, get the headset. Let's go. Get the headset off. Let's go. Helmet on. We got to find out if we missed. And the first, second or third ball. We missed. Swing and a miss.
We're going to get the number 1 pick anyway. Shit.
Yep. Swing and a miss. Can we draft another one? We'll have 3 quarterbacks we're paying fucking $200 million to.
Buttloads of money, too.
The Arizona Cardinals.
I like that kid for West Virginia.
Pootie Tang. I'm ready for some 10-9-8, baby.
Will Greer.
Will Greer,
yeah.
Will Greer slings.
Is he tall?
And
What's his size?
He's got show hair.
Is he
He's
big
got
boy?
show hair and he slings. I like Will Greer.
Yeah.
Well
said. Pootie Tang says he's ready for some Sixers.
Yeah.
Willie's. Willie and Andrew and Carson, those guys are large humans.
Yeah.
They are. I'm ready for some 10-9-8 too,
Heck
boys.
yeah.
I'm excited.
Sure, yeah.
In my opinion, if healthy, the number 1 team in the Eastern Conference.
We got Flyers coming before them.
We do. We got everything coming.
Yeah.
Starting
Everything's
early.
coming around.
Flyers start like
early.
next
Flyers
week or
start
2
early.
weeks.
It's like a week away.
We're starting early.
Markel's playing Sixers JT. Don't worry about him. He'll be stroking.
We're going to be good.
He'll be
Sixers
stroking
going to be
something.
good.
Yeah, Dean's play him anyway. He does stink in terms of Rosen. Yup, you play him. You run him out there. You prove a point.
He's talking about Fultz.
What?
I thought he was talking about Fultz. No, I'm kidding.
Fultz doesn't stink. Big difference between Rosen and Fultz. I don't know what it is, but there's a big difference.
Let's hope so.
One has a shoulder injury.
Did. Reportedly.
The one, yeah,
Allegedly.
The other guy's hurt, always hurt.
JT, Sixers.
Allegedly.
Sorry, TTP Baldwin says, do you make the Butler offer?
No.
Which I assume would be Dario in that deal.
Not if you think Fultz is what he is. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you think Fultz is back and he's going to be that number one guy, there's no need to go get Jimmy Butler. He's your Jimmy Butler type of pop that you're looking for there.
Nah, and especially
Actually,
it is a good question, you know what I mean? But we love Dario, we do. And anytime we talked about it with Kawhi, I understand there's talent there, you know what I mean? But anytime guys have one out of town, it just means to me there's a bigger red flag than there.
But it's
they're
Minnesota.
letting it on. I understand that, but he played for Tibbs in Chicago.
Apparently,
and,
it's
you know
because
what I mean?
him and what's called hate each other.
Tibbs?
No.
Wiggins.
Him and Wiggins
Okay.
hate each other.
That was all his call-outs all year.
There was
with Wiggins.
there was a big thing on Instagram between him and Wiggins. Apparently,
Yeah.
I don't have Instagram.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. So that's
there
apparently what
was.
they say. They
There
say
was.
that Wiggins and Butler hate each other.
And Steven Jackson was smoking a blunt, like talking shit back to Andrew Wiggins. Living the retired NBA life.
Yeah.
And he's on the air. And he's on the air, too. So
Yeah.
probably lost that gig.
Nah, I think he's in Cali. He's fine.
Yep, shit's legal.
He can do whatever the fuck he wants. F-Team says if Greer's 6'5", then Herbert's 6'11".
I don't know how tall Greer is, but Greer slings though. Watch a West Virginia game. I hate.
Yeah, I
West
kind of
Virginia.
thought he was a little smaller, but I'm going to look it up right now. So we can.
What else was I gonna say? I am looking forward to the Sixers though, and I really think that Fultz is gonna be good.
Me too.
I mean, we don't have to do Sixers talk right now, but I'm looking forward.
Well, we're going to have plenty of it.
I'm looking forward.
We're going to be
some
double
Sixers.
dipping a lot, fam. Expect a lot of Eagles and Sixers moving
And you
forward
know what?
here.
And you know
with
what?
With a side of Fly Guys. You know what I mean? And then another side of Fire Kaplan. So it's going to be great. It's going to be so much fun.
The kid for the Flyers, Corey Hart, has looked pretty good so
Yeah.
far.
Let's
And
go.
all the other guys
We need a goalie
are
to die.
hurt.
We need
Let's
a goalie
go.
to die.
Let's go. Plug them in.
We need a goalie to die.
Just start. Let's go.
We know a guy. We need a-
Scared money don't make
I
money.
don't want no newbie. I don't want no newbie.
6'3", so he's not that small. 6'3", not
Yeah,
quite
Sweeps doesn't miss
6'5".
too much.
Probably
But, you know, my
6'5".
apologies.
6'5".
No, I mean, listen, you're right.
6'5"
You
in
know.
the program. 6'5" in the program, James.
He's right. I thought he was going to be like, with the way that guy came back, I thought he was like.
He's gonna be 5'9".
Yeah.
He's 1 inch off, you fuck. Jesus Christ.
He does have great hair.
Deion Brown
Oh, he's got
says.
show hair. Yeah, he's got show hair.
Deion Brown says Eagles 24, Titans 14. Mark it down, brother. Hope so, brother. Hope fucking so.
I'm thinking like 21-13. I think they're going to play a decent game defensively. But, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we go down there and put it on them. If Carson looks good early, hits a couple throws, we can put it on them.
Well, you expect it even better.
Because
Listen,
if you make them have to throw, if we go up early on them, they have to throw, they're in big trouble.
Listen, what
because
the-
that's when we're going to get some turnovers. Because we pin the ears back, we go get Marcus.
Now the wife, on the other hand,
Oh, he married
Will
her,
Grill's wife. Hey,
Yeah.
well done. He slings it.
He ain't done.
He slings it on all
He
sides.
I
Of
thought
it.
it was his
told you.
girlfriend.
Yeah.
I
So
told
he
you that's a confidence
He
builder. I
married-
see
yeah,
that,
he
we're good.
Yep.
Deems is saying he cut his hair. I don't think he cut his hair.
He can grow it back, Deems. It's show hair. It's show hair.
I love the hair.
Which I had
Deems is
some.
all upset, telling him to learn your guys. He's all firing.
What,
there.
Will Greer?
I guess. I don't know. I
I
think
haven't watched. I'm just telling you that.
Oh!
Pick! Pickle! Probably happened 20 minutes
Let's
ago.
go, Pats.
Our TV's 20 minutes behind. It's Tom.
We're on a delay.
it's not a delay. It's when you,
Stafford.
when you stream it. You jackass. Wake up.
Well, stop streaming shit.
Don't
No, I
watch
see
the
what
fucking game.
Wait. Matt Stafford threw a pick?
David Roska says,
Apparently.
are you guys
Pickles!
ready for the Rams beating up on the Vikings on Thursday night? That should be a good one, though.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, the way it is, I agree.
The
The
NFL.
Rams are really good, but it's the NFL, and the Vikings just got embarrassed.
Well,
Vikings
I
just got
have-
embarrassed.
I have-
You can't come to play on this game.
no.
and get embarrassed.
A bunch of my family is Vikings fans, and the thought process was it was a tough week, a lot of injuries,
Looking
plus
past
the
them.
short week. coming up against a better opponent.
Go, Sony. Run that TV.
Looking past them. Trap game.
Yep.
Trap game.
Trap.
6 JT says, Ralphie, what'd he say?
What's the
I'm ready, Ralph. Might want to head over to Modell's and get that Sixers cap. It's a trap! Well, we're going to welcome you one last time, Ralph. You have one last
That's a
time.
face mask.
Called it.
You have one last time.
Go.
One last time, Ralph.
I'm like, how do we see that shit?
We'll let you come in.
Ralphie, get rid of the purple and gold. Don't look good on grown men.
First off, Ralph, not much is going to look good on you. Second off.
I didn't go there.
I love it.
I did.
I love it.
I'll go right with it.
It's almost basketball season, okay? Now we're butting heads. Right? You got the king on your squad now. We got to hate you even more. All right? Now we hate you more.
The hate was like here.
Oh, it's up there now. It's been ramped up. There's been a bell curve. We're ramping back up.
Has there been any word from LeVar? Has LeVar come
He's been
stateside?
quiet.
Has he come stateside?
He's
He's tipping around like a fucking little field mouse. He's field mousing, bro.
The best thing that Magic did was get LeBron, because now LeVar's like, I gotta shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
He don't like Lonzo. We might be in Phoenix. Fucking sweating in the desert.
Or Minnesota.
He's fucking tiptoeing around, boy.
I gotta be careful now.
I thought he was
Send us
still.
out to Indiana.
Yeah.
I thought he was still in fucking Lithuania or whatever the fuck he was hiding.
Yeah.
Because I haven't.
No, he's got the triple B league with LaMelo fucking stinking. He's like, Lonzo's my ticket. The other kid's stinking. Shit. We get him into some competition. He can't play. He's like, we're in trouble.
Yeah,
trouble.
LaMelo looks weird as fuck too. He just looks like a guy who can't play.
He just sprouted up though, so
Yeah, he did.
he'll probably be really good. Like once he gets his legs under him. Somehow
he lifted the guy up.
He got like
more
5
embarrassing
inches.
for that guy.
Yeah.
They said he grew like 5 inches in like a year or something. That's a lot of growth.
Oh, Big Daddy Gronk.
Oh, he's the man.
Yeah, he's an issue.
Was almost a lion.
Deion Brown says he has Dallas go there sitting this week. Hey. Yeah, no way, no, not one.
No.
Sixers JT, hot take. The Mavs are a better team than the Lakers. Ooh, I love it.
Ooh,
I love it.
True.
Shove it. No, they're not. But shove it. Shove it, Ralph.
Guys, I'd love that to be true, but like legit, the Lakers are probably going to be the third best team in the West because they have the best player on the planet, and it matters that much. It really does. I know everyone wants to say they're going to be bad. They're not going to be bad.
No, I don't expect them to be bad.
No, they're not going to be bad at all.
And we know what the East was, but he won with 5 jabronis.
Don't matter.
You know what I mean? He won with 5
He's got a lot
jabronis,
better
you know what I mean?
team than he did last year in Cleveland. Yeah. I'll tell you that. And they win game 1 in the fucking play. They win game 1. If JR's not hitting the hen, they win game 1.
Yeah.
I know it's early to do this.
But if he's the real GOAT, he comes back in overtime and shuts that game down.
He broke his hand, though, apparently.
Yeah, because he's a fraud.
No, he's not a fraud.
No, that was after the game he broke his hand.
Bro, he's the one that brought up the excuse.
No, but he's not a fraud, though.
Well, he's been excuse-driven tonight.
Yeah.
A little bit.
How have I been
At times.
excuse-driven?
There's been moments. Rewatch the tape.
You've been sucking too much of that fucking robot dick. No excuses over here.
Makes me want to fucking choke you out. You have no idea.
Ain't no complaints.
Like if we had weapons in here, it would get ugly.
Yeah, you'd lose like
Is that a
for
sickle?
your life.
Dude, I'm not losing with a bat or any
Tom's
type of
going
weapon.
for the sickle.
Oh, I'm just.
You're not like
Is that are those
incapable of grabbing
nunchucks?
a weapon.
you're not that quick.
Didn't you
Like,
get nunchucks?
like now you're
Slide
acting
the
like
brass
you're that
knuckles
fast.
across the table.
I'm
Brass
quick.
knuckles?
I'm not fast.
And I'll light you with a left hand too. I wouldn't even need the right. The way you're sitting, I could left hand jab you night, right in the teeth.
You get caught in that wire, probably.
Nah, I don't know. I'll go over top. Absolutely, I got to go over. Look out the piggy ass. I got to get up over.
Be a bad day for you.
Worse than Virginia Tech.
Real bad day. He can take another month vacation after that one with a wired jaw.
Well played.
Touchdown. Oh.
Well played. Andy Ritter, first of all, fuck the Patriots. Second off, Rockets are going to be the best team in the West.
Rockets? Yeah.
No, you have a crumb for a star player.
Yeah, but they should be the best
That
team.
don't work
they were
out.
the best team last year.
And their coach is as Deems said here, which is perfect, Mike D'Antoni is the Andy Reid of the NBA.
Yep.
CP3's a stud. He just fucking always hurt, though. CP3 can stay healthy. We say it every year. He can stay healthy.
Deemsy, that's spot on, bro.
I mean, they should be the best team in the West. Yes.
Andy Reid gets you to
Besides-
dinner. Andy Reid gets you to the dinner table. Sometimes he forgot to eat, which is hard to believe.
Yeah.
with the big dog.
I don't know how Andy forgot to eat, but he forgot to eat sometimes.
Listen, with this
Absolutely.
puppy, though, he might be eating real soon. The way he slings it, you know what I mean? He might have a full belly real soon.
It's
They're
a
weapons.
one-man team, though.
They're
Yeah,
weapon
they'll fuck
driven.
something up, though.
They got a ton of weapons.
They're loaded on
Yeah,
the
but
outside.
yeah.
Dude, the rookie, they have it wide out.
I'm sorry. I thought we were still talking Rockets.
Rockets.
We're
No.
all
My bad.
over.
My bad.
We're all over,
My
babe.
bad. Chiefs,
No
absolutely.
drops 20.
We got
No
ideas.
drops
Just
20
grab
again.
We're
ideas.
everywhere. We're everywhere.
Yeah,
we don't
yeah.
even know where we're at
Chiefs,
sometimes.
I completely agree with you.
Listen, don't be
Keep up,
don't
Greg.
be
Come on.
upset.
I mean, they
Don't
blow
be
out.
upset, Greg.
They blow out San Fran, and as me and Willie were sitting here dying for Tyreek to do something fantasy-wise,
Yeah, he didn't do
and he
shit.
did nothing, and they still blow him out.
Yeah, Conley
Like, that's just
had a
how
good
many
day.
weapons they
Watkins
have.
had a touch. That's a touch.
Look at
Touch!
that ball.
Is that Sony?
Great ball.
Don't be
right there.
Sony. No,
It's out of the
Damn
backfield.
it, James White.
Probably was an hour ago.
Doesn't matter. Let's go.
Yeah, that was
Now it's
good.
gone. Now it's gone. See?
Okay, 8 minutes.
See
Not
that?
too bad.
It's all right.
Now how pissed are we now?
We'll be off.
What just
Now it's
happened
gone.
right there?
Now it's gone.
Brian needs the mouse.
I'd rather have it delayed.
A little
I know.
shake.
I'd rather have it delayed. I'd rather have it delayed.
See what happens?
And
Right,
still see
fucking
it.
Skynet's become self-aware. This is no good.
I told you there was aliens last night.
No good.
Dion wanted to know how we felt about or thought about Josh Adams' play today. I thought he ran the ball well.
I thought he played well when he
runs,
was given.
He runs hard. I'll tell you what, though. He reminds you a lot of Eddie George out there.
Yeah.
He's a big boy. He's
Yeah.
a big boy. He screams leg injury to me. Like, he's so big, someone's going to come
And he's
in
so
and hit
upright.
him low, and it's just going to ruin him.
Come on, gorgeous.
Oh, what's up, girl?
Get in here. Hey, girl. Hey.
What up, lad?
The best.
Little factory tonight? Oh, Lord.
Lord, he knows. He knows.
The cakers.
Roll one up.
Hopefully they eat the cakers.
Sundays are great days in there, as you can imagine.
Oh, it's probably terrible.
They're horrendous.
I can't. I feel so bad for her because I know how it is. Whew.
It's bad.
It's like a day. It's like getting Gloucester all day with me for deliveries. Just a rough day.
Just start leaving it at the curb. Yeah. Just fucking ball it up, throw it to me, and I'm going to leave it right here. Fuck out of here.
TTP talking about the Sixers #1 seed talk. Yeah, that's where I think they're at. I think they're better than the Celtics, and I know there's people out there think I'm crazy saying that. Like, you got to look at the young
They're not
player.
better than the Celtics right now, but
If the
I'm
progression
with you.
of my
I'm
puppies
with you.
are
I'm
what
with
I
you.
think they can be,
people
they're better than the
aren't
Celtics.
believing, Tom. I'm with you.
Let's go.
I think that fucking. I think that Ben and JoJo are just gonna keep getting better and better and better, and I really do think that Markel's gonna be a good player in this league. So.
And we already know
Let's
about the
go.
guy we forget
And
to talk
know
about all the
Gar-
time.
We know we got Dario. We
You know?
I fucking hate Rocco.
I like
You know?
Wilson Chandler, though. At least you know he can score the
Yeah,
basketball.
well, Wilson Chandler's not a bad pickup.
This thing's physical on the wing, which was an issue against the Celtics last year. So you got more physical on the wing, obviously, and you got to look at the progression of your puppies, like you were just saying. Them 3 guys or 4 guys all continue to get better, and Joel and Ben, and Markel. I mean, we forget about Markel because of how good we know Ben and Joe can be and already are. So we forget about Markel on what he's supposed to be too. I mean, you got an opportunity to have 3 stars on your basketball team. That's how the Warriors did it. I'm telling you, the Eastern Conference, watch the fuck out if they're healthy.
That's what
Watch out.
That's what the
I told you
process
guys
is all
last year.
about.
Yeah, I told you guys last year. I love Chandler. You know what I mean? As a next tier guy. You know what I mean? He's tough. I mean, obviously, when you have a neck tat, you don't have a mirror in your house. But I mean, obviously, guy's fucking tough as balls, and he can shoot the basketball.
He don't
over.
have
He
a
can score.
neck tat. His whole neck is
Yeah.
tat.
He don't have a neck no more.
I don't know. The neck tat's rough. I mean, I guess on the NBA floor, you're not worried about getting a job anywhere like corporate America, so you can neck tat it up. But whoo,
6 JT though.
the neck tat in a public setting is rough. It's tough. It's tough.
You talk about how stacked the Celtics are, but we're stacked. I think that's
Yeah,
what
we are
people
stacked.
are missing. Like, yeah, they're really good. Nobody's taking anything away from them, but we got our first taste last year. That was all that was missing in that series, was just us having a taste. They had their tastes already. They were in the Eastern Conference Finals. Most of that roster knew what it took to get there. Now we have our kids who finally got the taste of what it takes to win in the playoffs, what it goes into a long season. For guys like Joel, who never played that many games in Ben, what it takes for the preparation for that year. You saw the growth of Aaron Nola through year 2, going into year 2 and the growth in the year 3, which put him in Cy Young candidacy, right, throughout this year. You see growth. It's the third year for a lot of these guys. For Joel on the court, really his second going into the second full year. And for Ben, going into his third year in the league, but second year on the court, huge jumps are going to happen.
And at what point does that Kyrie ask for a trade? You know what I mean? Because there's somebody else is a star, and he doesn't like what's going on, and he'll ask out.
But the other thing is there's one ball.
Crumb City.
Yeah.
There's one ball up there.
Kyrie's a crumb.
And you're getting Kyrie back.
Sprinkle that on.
Everybody thinks when you get Kyrie back, you're going to be better.
You're getting
I don't buy
back,
into it.
And so now you're automatically pushing probably your best player down the stretch last year, Jason Tatum. Or Jaylen Brown and Terry Rozier to the bench.
Yep.
Now all of a sudden these guys are going to mesh with one ball. We
Terry Rozier's a flash in the fucking pants.
I don't disagree.
But I agree.
But I'm more on the Tatum and the Brown but Terry Rozier was big for them down the stretch.
Oh, he was. But
now
how do they mesh with the fact that you
have three guys that play in the same position?
You were like, so what's going to be back, right? Obviously,
Hayward,
right?
Yeah, and you're not paying him buttloads of money not to start.
I'm saying. So what do you do now?
Which really that don't mean shit. It's all about finishing. For me, in those sports where you can sub people, starting's great. You get to hear your name, and in basketball, the other team could, fans could maybe put a paper up and try to, fuck with you. All right, but at the end of it, who's closing the fucking game out?
But they all play the same position.
No, I know. But
are all three of them versatile enough to go against our 5 at the end?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which could be Ben at the point, Markelle at the 2.
Yeah, we're mismatched nightmares for teams, and I think that's
Dario at the 4.
That's what guys are missing here when you talk about why I think we're better than the Celtics because we're mismatched nightmares offensively for teams. We're so long and big, and we're only going to get stronger.
They don't have a true big, right? Is it Aaron Baines?
It's Horford.
Al Horford and Aaron Baines.
And Baines, yeah.
But if JoJo sits on the block, if
he gets better, right? His post game gets better.
Horford can't handle him inside.
You would think another year.
Can't handle him.
You know what I'm saying?
They did last year because he was a pup.
Yeah,
and it became playoff times. And at least Horford's the veteran.
Well, no, he's a good wily
mean?
vet. I'm saying if you wear him out on the block, you don't want no parts of that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Now JoJo, you hope, next year coming in, you got a little bit, more willing to be in a post instead of the outside.
What did they do? They collapsed on Ben last year.
Times.
Yeah.
Get to the foul line.
They collapsed on Ben last year in that series and made him have to attempt shots, and he didn't.
Right.
So you would expect the growth of him just being able to shoot the basketball better from at least 12 to 15, or at least be able to knock it down at times enough where you got to respect it.
And hopefully our coach realizes that at that point you got to take the ball out of his hands. Now you got Markelle to do that, and you can run Ben on cuts more because they have to guard him on the cuts, or else we're throwing down dunks. So what they did is they just sagged everything inside the paint, and they said we know he's not going to shoot jumpers, and that really hurt us in the series. I mean, that was the reason we lost, really.
Well, the Lions scored a TD, boys.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so we're behind, but
we definitely are behind.
A little Marvin Jones.
A
little Marvin. But no, I'm excited. I'm excited for the start.
Yeah, for sure.
10-9-8, boys.
That's a killer for me. Yeah, no, absolutely. Playoff baseball.
Playoff baseball coming up. Yeah. So actually,
absolutely.
You know what I wanted to ask you guys? So, who do you got winning in the tight races? There's only about, 2 tight races left? You got the Dodgers and Colorado, right?
Yeah, really. I think it's Cardinals-Rockies. I think the Dodgers have, I don't think they separated enough to say, well, it's over, but I think they imposed their will enough to say, listen, the talent has risen like it should be. You know what I mean?
Dodgers gonna win the West.
Yeah, so it's Cardinals-Rockies for me, and they're not getting any help. I mean, the Cardinals are winning, but the D-backs were atrocious, so that was just a sweeperoo. And now here comes the fucking wounded animal that is the Phillies. Thanks for the help. You know what I mean? Here comes fucking Shitbird Central.
No, it'll be a sweep. It'll be a sweep. It means nothing. It means nothing. It'll be a sweep now.
No chance. We're gonna get rolled. We're gonna go out there and roll fat ones and get rolled on the field. That's what's gonna happen out there in Denver.
Well,
Raquel's going to be high as a kite in the club. We're going to see it on video.
A baseball team that,
him and Odubel,
in my opinion, flat out quit on their manager. And people can
as they should have, because he's a fucking crumb. I don't even want to talk about that guy. I hate him.
When you collapse like that, that's on your manager.
It's the worst. He's the worst.
I don't care if it's your first year,
The
10th
absolute
year,
worst.
20th year. I don't give a fuck, and there's no free passes. And people want to talk about, well, they weren't supposed to be good. They were good. So that's the difference. So now expectations are higher. So now you finish it. You can't collapse. Even the Braves beat them out, right, and you don't collapse and you play like 500 ball, you give them a pass, right? But when you fucking have a collapse like this,
I don't give a fuck about
you know what I mean? When you collapse like this, though, that's a whole nother level. Yeah. That's like, yo, the people are quitting on the computer. Your players quit on the computer.
We haven't won a series in over a month.
Well, no, it was 2 months until we won back-to-back series.
Yeah.
But we didn't. But
it still wasn't 2 months.
Forget it. Forget it. It was a long time against bad baseball teams. Yeah. Against bad baseball teams. It's one thing if you got a stretch of the Red Sox, fucking Yankees, Cardinals, Dodgers, and all that shit. You played Miami 42 times. You played the Mets 120 fucking times right through the stretch. You played the Padres, who took 2 or 3 from you.
Games.
It's fucking crumb talk. It's a fucking problem, and you should launch yourself off the Walt Whitman.
A lot of doubleheaders. Yeah, no, absolutely.
Essentially, that's what it felt like. Felt like it sweeps. It wasn't about doubleheaders.
But when you get,
let's play two.
In all seriousness, but when you get to the All-Star break and you're right in it, then it's not early anymore. You know what I mean? Like that kind of shit happens when we talk about it in April and May, where you're like kind of like a pretender and you're young,
get hot,
and you're playing above your head. That's fine. You get to the All-Star break and past it, on that seesaw, they were right there. It's them and the Braves just seesawing for like 3 months straight.
Yeah.
And then you just go fucking south like that. Come on, then there's no. You can't have it both ways. You can't say like, oh, this team's great, and then when they fucking fail, say, oh, they're too young, they're a year away. That's bullshit. You're either fucking in or you're not in. You know what I mean? Like, then don't watch when they were playing well. Then just turn it off. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because it doesn't matter anyway.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
Just say the American League's better, and we'll hope. Maybe one of these years we'll sign a guy and we'll be okay. You know what I mean? Maybe we'll sign Manny or Harper. That's all. But don't watch it all the way up and then just when the wheels fall off. Say,
how do you get worse?
When the wheels fall off, say, well, you know what, they weren't really ready yet.
Well, how do you get worse when your GM goes out and makes moves for you to essentially be better? You know what I mean? But you don't know how to put lineups together properly. You don't know how to be consistent with anything properly. Like so who's that on now? Like, it's one thing if you say status quo and with the young kids and you got worse and you're like, okay, the long season for a lot of these guys, whatever you come up with, okay? Yeah. Whatever excuse you want to come up with. But when you go out and add vets, right, and you're going to put vets in the middle of your lineup like you did and you get worse, who's that on? I'm serious. I don't know. I mean, who's it on? To me, it's on one guy. Because coming to the ballpark, listen, I don't know where the fuck I'm playing.
Yeah. It's on one guy.
Yeah. At the major league level,
it's on one guy.
At the major league level, it all falls at his fucking feet. All right. As far as the big picture, that's Matty, and that's the organization and whoever's running the scouting and stuff like that. Because some of these guys are taking too long to get ready. You look across the league, and guys are coming up when it's time, whether it's an injury or if it's to jumpstart a team. All right, I'm not going to use the Cardinals as an example, but go look at that blueprint if you want. I don't have to talk about it. You don't want to hear me talk about it. But yeah, Soto, guys like that.
Acuna's 19.
Ready. They're fucking
Albies
guys are
20,
ready to go. Like they could have failed, but
now,
they brought them up. They're superstars.
They're all the Braves guys are at least that collaboration of shady stuff now. But how much of this is on the players too? Like, how much, like...
Oh, I'm a big responsibility guy.
I mean,
absolutely.
You're still up there hitting.
Fuck yeah.
Like, yeah, I mean, you're right. Kapler can blow up a lineup, can blow up a bullpen, a pitching staff, but still at the same time...
Yeah, they never get a pass.
These are major league players, and you're here for a reason.
Absolutely.
You're the guy swinging the bat and not hitting the ball for 2 months.
Yeah, you know what's bigger than, though? It's bigger. You know what's bigger than the losses? It's the way they've lost. I don't see a lot of fight. That's what I look at. Like if I saw a little bit more fight,
listen,
tougher at bats, more locked in at bats. It's almost like it's a weird vibe. Like going to a ballpark and you're still in a race and nobody's there.
Your son hasn't had a good at bat in 3 months.
It's irrelevant right now to this conversation.
In all the 4 majors, I kill all the players all the time. You know what I mean? Like I don't ever give them a pass. All right, especially for the amount of money they make. All right,
yeah.
So they never get a pass in my eyes. But especially when you're playing, absolutely, and you're talking about a sport that's a ton of execution, and when you can help them out, that's what you do. Like when you're not hitting, you can open up holes.
Oh, hit and
you
run.
can create pressure.
No doubt.
You can steal bases. There's other
run.
ways to score.
That's the problem.
There's other ways to score in baseball without getting a hit. You know what I mean? If you can get your ass to third somehow.
Meanwhile, he's playing it like we got the fucking 27 Yankees.
Yeah.
What the fuck, dude? No one's hitting. We got one guy with 30 homers. We don't have 4 guys with 40 homers that we're just hoping we're going to lose a couple,
Sometimes you got to create your own. Sometimes you got to
fucking
create your big
shit.
inning. You
have
understand?
to create shit.
Sometimes you need to create
like
your
you
big
said,
inning.
let a pitcher shit all over himself because they will.
That's it. You're not going to just
Put balls in play.
You can't
move runners, steal bags. Like we don't have murderers row. We have to do that to win games. And if you don't, you're not going to score runs. And that's what's happened the last month and a half. We haven't scored any fucking runs. So there you go. It's easy to me. It's baseball. It's easy. I don't know. They're making it too much. Kapler's making it too much. I hate his guts. I'll never like the guy. I hope he dies tomorrow. I don't care. I don't care at all.
You just
don't care. I really sincerely mean it. I hope he dies tomorrow. And someone, if it happens and someone tries to give us shit, I will gladly trade his life knowing I can predict something like that. Okay? Remember that shit.
Listen, you can't sit back and wait for the big inning. Sometimes you got to create your own big inning. And what he never did is he never tried to create a big inning for this baseball team. Like we talked about ad nauseum, there was nothing. There was no small ball ever played. I understand the game gets away from it a little bit, but when you don't hit and you're not hitting, what are you doing to try to get your guys going?
Well, then
besides shuffling your lineup like it's going, you know what I mean?
He's almost waiting for a big inning when we're just saying, hey, play for a run. If you can, you know what I mean? If you could score, obviously the goal is to score every inning. All right, you do that, you feel like you can beat a lot of teams.
Right.
You can, offensively,
Gilmore
that's your mentality offensively. All right, but. This guy's trying for a crooked number all the time, like it's fucking easy, like they're growing trees. No. Play a little bit of fucking small ball. I don't give a shit what the fucking computer says. I really don't. And I know there's 1,000 people out there that fucking want to fucking tell me about it, right? And I'm going to tell you this right now before, while we're on the fucking tangent here, right? The analytics fucking teams that are winning are fucking talented, right? Nobody fucking wins with analytics that doesn't have fucking talent. So don't tell me fucking Red Sox. Don't tell me Astros. Don't tell me Dodgers. They're all fucking loaded.
I was going to say.
All right? So put the fucking pipe down. Right? The fucking A's, they catch lightning in a fucking bottle. We know how that fucking ends. Right? That's the way it fucking goes. Right? They got the fucking one of the best players that nobody fucking knows, and then everybody else plays the fucking game right. Right? But when it's all said and done, they're gonna fucking fall off the fucking cliff too. That's what they do. Right? There's no talent there. All right? When they got to go fucking to beat the Yankees in a one-game playoff. Sean Manae's hurt. All right, now they're going to have to hand it to fucking Trevor Cahill. Fucking good luck with that. We fucking hate the Yankees, and we're fucking crossing our fingers for it. All right, but fucking A, man.
I hope the God fucking A's win that game.
Absolutely. Fuck, I'm with you, bro. I'm like this.
The A's win that game so bad. Brad Ryder.
Oh, my God.
$500 in my account. $500 in my account.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't just fucking, the fucking Twins aren't winning the fucking World Series. And, fucking White Sox or whoever. Anybody. You can tell me anybody that's fucking doing it, and I'll tell you, oh, that's fucking great.
Like,
Good
people
job,
are like,
man.
he's going to win a World Series with this team in 2 years. Yeah, because you're going to go out and you're going to fucking spend a ton of money to get big-time talent in here, and they're going to hit the fucking cover off the ball. So they're going to win despite of him. You understand? Like, same thing he's saying. They're going to win despite of him, not because he's good enough, right? Because he had his chance to show you he's a really good manager through this stretch, through 2 months of terrible baseball, righting the ship at some point, which was never written. It was never written. Not once did they get a little hot or a little spark or nothing.
The whole thing with the whole analytics is you're supposed to do stuff that is trending, right? You're supposed to follow trends. Hey, this guy hits it here most of the time, so let's put this shift on. This guy does this, so this is why we're going to pitch him this way, right? Well, doesn't analytics also tell you if this isn't working, change something? Yeah. Like, isn't that also part of analytics?
Yeah.
Like, hey, you haven't hit the ball in 3 months. Maybe you should change your lineup around a little bit.
Because it has been happening for fucking ever, right? It happened to fucking Ted Williams in the World Series a long, long time ago, right? And you're talking about if you want to do it to a Ryan Howard and stuff, a guy that's, perennial fucking pull happy. I get that, right? But he started, when he first got here, he showed you that he's going to do it with everybody. A guy named Ryan Flaherty killed us the fucking first weekend of the fucking.
Yeah.
The
guy we cut.
Yeah. The
guy wasn't good enough to play for us.
Cut, all right, killed you the first weekend of the fucking season.
Yeah.
Because we were shifting against that fucking jabroni.
Yeah.
Come on, dude. That's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
That's
we're
not
shifting against 180 hitters.
That's when you're a fucking robot and you're just a fucking. You can't get it done. You can't manage on the fly. You can't use your peepers. All right. Baseball's a field game. All right. It's not. I can understand they want to add some numbers and I.
How's the field get better? Somebody tell me that because there's a lot of things you can get better at. The field is not something you're going to get better at. You understand? It's fucking simple. So the people out there, well, it's his first year. Dude, you got to feel for this shit or you don't.
And especially when you're a former player and you still can't feel it.
You're a crumb.
Like,
where you're a me guy. Like, everything you talk about after your game it feels like it's all about you. That's why I can't listen to you. but it's not about you. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it's all about you, but not about you, which is
worst.
weird. Which makes me not like you even more.
We literally had an awful last week and a half, and
he's still positive.
The one press conference he's talking about, it's exhilarating. No, nothing's been exhilarating for a month.
Yeah.
Okay? Seriously. Kill yourself.
That's what I'm saying.
Exhilarating.
It's like, it really is.
And how about showing a little fire on the field? The only time he's argued, I think, in this whole stretch is when the game is over and we just lost the NL East. It's officially over. He went and he argues that ball.
And it was a strike.
Great work, Gabe. Good job.
Yeah.
Job well done.
Absolutely spot on. That's why I said.
Because I'm getting thrown out a month ago.
I'm
getting thrown out a month ago because I'm mad at them. Because I'm mad at my guys. I'll find for you to do something. Like I'll look for you to do something.
Find something to get thrown out about.
I'll get tossed. Oh, that's close. I'm running out for that, and I'll get tossed just to get them going.
I would have got tossed 4 times.
We know. Listen,
the best thing you can do for guys is let them know that you got their back in a way outside of a presser.
But not even
that. You do that every weekend.
And we make
and they get rolling.
We make jokes about it.
No, but you're absolutely right.
We make jokes about it. It's one of the best movies of all time. But I mean, go in there and throw fucking wooden bats in the fucking, throw the bats in the fucking shower. You understand? Pop a sprinkler. Obviously, we didn't cover it one day, so I was hoping that might have been his idea. Yeah. All right, but instead we got out blowtorches. You know what I mean? They didn't fucking cover it one time. You know what I mean? Blow a fucking gasket. Right? Get it?
I can get a Serene out.
Do fucking something.
Nothing. There was no changes where it's weird. The lineup shuffled, but it was never guys would have good nights and they won't be in the lineup the next day. It was the weirdest thing where you're like, okay, put your best 8 guys in this goddamn lineup and just stick with it. And if that's Hoskins in the 2-hole, go fuck yourself first. Second, then stick with everything you have then and ride your dogs. All right, or say, you know what? He's hit so many fucking solo shots. Let me try this move. Let me go Caesar, Roman, and then Hoskins. And let me see if I can get a 2-run shot out of him. Try something.
He has to hit third.
I agree with you.
Nothing
was tried. Nothing different was tried.
I don't give a fuck.
Besides trying to reinvent the way you coach baseball and manage baseball. It's a reinvention of managing and coaching baseball. And thinking that you can go in the pressers and be Mr. Positivity and guys will rally for you. Guess what they'll also rally for? You saying, we haven't been good enough. Okay? Because I didn't hear that through 2 months of pressers. I didn't hear one time say, you know what? We haven't been good enough. And we got to get fucking better. What I would do is start throwing shit in my office. I would let everybody know that I'm not fucking happy.
Bottom line, sometimes you got to shoot a hostage. Okay? Someone's got to. You got to fucking make a decision. You got to freak people the fuck out. All right?
Shoot a hostage.
Bottom line is you have to shoot a hostage sometimes.
Even
warranted.
Even if Samuel Johnson.
And that motherfucker hadn't done anything. He didn't do shit. Instead, he's patting everybody on the back. You did so well.
Yeah.
You tried so hard. You're better accuracy.
Yeah, it's when do you ever become real?
You're better accuracy.
When are you ever real?
Yeah. That's the thing.
You know what I mean? I understand. If your whole philosophy is analytic based, that's fine. There's a role in there, right? There's a role in today's baseball for that.
Yeah.
Right? But when are you ever real? When do you ever come to? Yeah, you're right. When do you ever come to a presser and be like, guys, I got nothing for tonight. Yeah. You know what I mean? I don't know what that was. I don't know what that was.
It's the same autopilot all the time.
And as much as I love Hoskins, he's not Trout. He's not Votto. He's not Rizzo.
Yeah, slow down.
He's not these guys that other guys that put in a 2-hole.
It's a mental
that
game.
Are 3-hole that are 300 hitters.
It's 90% mental, all right? That's not just a cliche. It's a fucking mental game. All these guys are talented, right? It's the guys that can fucking not become a mental midget and rise from the failure. It's a game of failure, fucking way past 90%. Because we only want to talk 70% because we're talking hitting. We live in an offensive world, right? But guys boot balls, guys get picked off, pitchers suck. Right, there's plenty other stuff. So the fail rate is 90%. Right, I mean that's grounds for suicide. You understand? I mean, you should be jumping on fucking bridges if you fail that much in your occupation, or you should be jobless. Right, so this game you got to be able to fucking deal with failure. So it's a mental game to begin with. Right. So you should have a 3, 4, 5, 6 hitter. Those guys should be the same all year. Right? Unless they're hurt or unless you fucking make trades, that's fine. Those core guys should be the same all the time. And obviously you're a leadoff guy. And if your lineup is the same, then guys fall into that routine and that pattern. Right? They couldn't even fucking tell you. If somebody asked some of the Phillies, hey, where are you hitting the lineup? They couldn't fucking tell them.
You only want to tell you is Reese.
Oh, yeah, Reese. I'm a 2-hole hitter.
2nd, 4th, 6th, sometimes 7th, occasionally 9th.
And then
what does that translate to?
Now we're back on the 071 train?
But hold on, Greg.
Now we're back on the 071 train?
But what does it translate to?
He came in with 5 and 5 and Gabe was like, I remembered why I loved your dad.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
You know what's funny, though?
Right
Is
back in.
we look at a lot of these guys, and their numbers are down big time average-wise from what they are, right?
Maybe it's because of all this jostling. Maybe.
Like, you got guys like Caesar, who's a 290 guy his whole life, and, now granted, he's been in the leadoff a lot, but still, he's been moved, whatever.
But he's one of those guys that doesn't usually go through prolonged slumps. And he almost went a whole month without getting a hit.
Yeah, and then he's
without
batting
hitting the ball on the ground.
And then he's batting him in a 9-hole. Like, that's good. You know what I mean? Instead of riding your dogs out, who got you there? Like, where are your dogs in the lineup you started the year with? Go back to it at times. Go back to what worked for you at the beginning of the year. But also, and blame needs to be put right up top on Matt Klintak, who felt like the rest of these three arms were going to be good enough to get you where you need to get to. And that's asinine, and you don't know your personnel then.
Yeah, because
if
all
you
the
thought
guys,
Pavetta,
all the guys that got picked up
Velasquez,
have been throwing well.
Right.
Hap's been throwing well. Miley's been throwing well.
Yeah.
Hamill's been throwing well.
Yeah.
All of them been throwing well.
And you were buyers at the deadline.
Yep.
Yep, for the wrong things,
Yeah.
essentially, because your lineup was good enough the way it was. Like, it wasn't on paper, but they got it done. They were getting done offensively. First half. We're trying to but fucking lock James' lineup up with spots you don't need. Okay, yeah, you want to upgrade a catcher? Okay, upgrade it. Whatever. But, then you go upgrade it. A Struble just we couldn't get Manny type deal. Well, instead of a Struble, okay, go fucking get an arm. You know what I mean? Go get an arm. It's asinine to me. When you're Mr. Analytics, but you can't see that you won by pitching. Get the fuck out of here. And then you realize you think Pavetta, Velasquez, and whatever other fucking Eflin are good enough for you to make a postseason run or even get to the dance. You're out of your mind. And Jake Arrieta needs the finger pointed right at him because he flat out fucking stunk the second half of the year. Getting paid to be a second half guy and to be a leader of this ball club and flat out stunk. But he wanted to talk about everybody else early on in the year, which I had no problem with. But you know what I'm saying. You can't talk about everybody else and not get it done, Daddy. Really? That's not how this game works, especially when you're a vet.
Oh, he definitely had to flick his beanbag, for sure.
Robbie, you got questions or no? Because we can hand it over and get the fuck out of here.
Because my hip is killing me.
I always have questions. All right, boys. You guys talked about Le'Veon Bell a little bit earlier in the show, but I want to ask you, with him still being a no-show, will he be wearing a different uniform by season's end or next season?
I think next season he will.
I don't think this
year? I
year?
think he'll be on Pittsburgh all year. I don't think they're going to get anywhere near the amount that they're going to want to get for him.
You think he's going to
play? Trade him. I think he's going to play. Yeah.
Right, you think he comes back?
I think he's back in about 2 weeks.
It's just so hard to trade him at this point.
Yeah, you can't trade him.
Because the team is taking on – the new team is taking on all the risk.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure that the new team would want an agreement on a new deal with him. And then that's going to make Pittsburgh make him even more valuable of a trade. So they're going to want a lot for him.
Yeah, it makes sense. I agree. I don't
and
see it
we always
happening.
talk about the offensive schemes. Like that's the reason why there's not that many trades in the NFL.
It's very tough
in the
to
season
judge.
because it's tough. The
guys,
playbook is this thick.
And
you know
guess
what I mean?
what, guys?
You know?
It doesn't work well usually.
Yeah.
In mid-season deals, don't work well. I'm telling you, everyone was swallowing cock about Josh Gordon. He'll catch like fucking 15 balls for the Patriots this year. He's not going to do nothing.
Agree. Next one.
All right, not who will, but who should win the NL MVP award?
Christian Yelich, in my opinion.
Yeah, for me, it's Yelich or Baez. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Yelich has been an absolute. I mean, both of them have been fantastic, but yeah, that's a tough.
I just like Yelich.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Javi Baez definitely could win it.
Yeah, and plus defender and all
the fact
those,
that
every
the
position.
fact that they play him wherever. It's like, okay, who's on the mound today? Where are they going to hit the ball the most? That's where we're playing Baez. The fact they do that's pretty cool, and and he's awesome at all of them. So
yeah, I would go with Baez just because like Yelich got better, which we expected him to, but Yelich always hit the fucking cover off the ball. He's just in Miami and nobody ever talked about it.
Truth.
But Baez got better, got like leaps and bounds better from a guy who was looking for a position at one point with everything that was up. Well, right, I mean, we were looking for places to play him and all that, and
my argument for
turn himself into a pimp.
My argument for Baez would be pillar to pillar, and that's no. I mean, this is the time to get hot, so I'm not by no means killing Yelich. Right, it just now he's coming. He's had a good year. I mean, a great year. Don't get me wrong, but now he's really went nuts these last 2 months. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, he's played
to jump into that conversation. He wasn't even in the conversation.
No, he wasn't.
He's probably going to win batting title. think he's hitting 320.
Yeah.
Him and Scooter Gennett are like right or neck and neck.
Close to 30-30.
And he's got over 30 homers, got over 20 steals. I mean, Yelich had a great year, and he's been powering that team.
Yeah.
Now, granted, they're not going to make the playoffs.
If the Rockies get in, I still like Arenado.
I was just about to ask. Arenado getting any votes?
You're not.
For me, it's about winning, so that's why but I keep him right on the bubble, absolutely, because he's another two-way guy. I mean, an absolute monster defender, and we know what he does with his bat.
Sub-question, should WAR factor in the MVP award at all? Like, regardless of what the team's doing. So you take a guy that's not on a contending team. Yeah.
You know how I feel about that shit.
Yeah.
I know it's important, and they look at it, whatever.
Yeah, I know they look
guys
at
like
it.
Brian Kenny, they look at it, and they jerk off. To me, it's like, well, I don't even know. I know what it means, but I'm like,
I don't know. I don't mind the stat, but it shouldn't be an end all, really. It's most valuable player to your team. So team results should factor into that. This question kind of derived from an argument that I had with a fellow Mets fan saying, this guy said that not only should DeGrom win the Cy Young, he should win the MVP. I'm like, there's not a chance.
No.
He's a 9-8 pitcher for a team that's 14 games under 500. There's not a chance. And he's like, oh, but his WAR is so much higher than everybody else's. I'm like, no, I don't care.
And that's why I won the Cy Young.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, listen, I think, I don't know. I don't know that DeGrom wins the Cy Young, to be honest with you. He might.
Yeah.
But I think Scherzer's right there.
I was ready to hit the max the last couple of weeks, and then he took a shit the last couple of times.
Scherzer strikes out 300.
Yep. Yeah.
And he's probably going to strike out 300.
I don't
know. He was real close.
And, I mean, he's right. I understand that DeGrom's got a phenomenal ERA, but he has 8 losses also, which means 8 times another guy outpitched him.
So you got to look at quality starts there, too. I mean, he set MLB record, most quality starts in a row at 29, most games under 3 runs or under. Like, there's some historicness to back him up, though, a little bit, no?
He's still 9-8.
Oh, no.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I didn't think Felix should have won when he had 12 wins for Seattle a few years ago, either.
I just have a problem giving it to a guy with under 10 wins. I just do. But, I mean, he very well might win it. Obviously.
Yeah, but that hurts him.
Yeah.
Big time.
I think Blake Snell should win the AL.
Agreed.
He just got 21 today, right?
Yeah. And
Yep.
he's been
I mean, the Nationals record hurts Scherzer.
True.
Yeah, no, definitely
because, I mean,
it definitely does.
you talk about a team that's underachieved. So, it hurts him just as much as DeGrom, having 9 wins in my eyes, because that's a team that should have won the NL. If anything, Noah
a couple times he had to
Noah should be more in the conversation because he helped carry a team to at least to where they were in the first half.
If you're talking a pitcher winning MVP, it should be more Nola than DeGrom.
Because he was the reason we were in this conversation to begin with. We're not even in this conversation with the Braves without the way Noah's pitched all year. Not even close. And then people talk about Pavetta and all the fucking other crumbs at the beginning half of the year, but this dude was lights out from day one. You know what I mean? They never hit in the starts, and he still won 16 games.
Now, how about
–
I got one for you guys real quick. So, now, who do you have winning the Rookie of the Year? Obviously, the highly contested one is you have Acuna or Soto. I think moving forward as a baseball player, I think I'd rather have Soto. But I think Acuna's going to win a Rookie of the Year.
I love Acuna.
Acuna's awesome.
I hate it because I love both the Braves puppies.
Soto's fucking
tough, man.
He's
a
awesome,
stud.
dude.
No, he's a stud.
He's so good.
But if we want to talk about some team success in that mix, too.
That's what
listen,
you're asking me. It's always about team.
Going to win
unless they're
team
both
success,
out of it.
and as soon as they moved him to the top of the lineup, they took off, and that's why he's going to win.
Yeah, and he should probably get 30 home runs. I think he's close. I don't know
but it's tough because you hate the Braves,
awesome.
but you got to love them two kids.
He's a killer, man.
Because they're fucking good. It's tough. It's tough to watch it. All right, Robbie, question 3.
I think what's called good as hell too.
I think the AL's more intriguing. Well, obviously it's between those two. We know that in the NL, but the AL's a 3-headed monster too. It's the 2 Yankees and Ohtani. You know what I mean? And I would lean towards Ohtani if he pitched more. But he's still, I think, won 5 games. He's got 20 homers and 282 or something.
Ohtani rakes.
You know what I mean?
I think what's called should be up there.
But Andujar's pretty sick.
I know he's not going to get many.
And Torres missed some time.
I know he's not going to get many votes, but the kid for the Tampa's played really well. Wendell, really, really well.
Yeah, he has.
And Tampa's a surprise as hell. Tampa would have won the NL East. Tampa would be in the playoffs easy. And
they win the Central.
Yeah,
they're
fucking,
depressing as that.
Yeah.
They'd win the fucking Central.
They're
a better record than the Indians, or the same.
It's crazy, right?
One has a 1% chance to get it. The other team's fucking 98%.
And they're 10 back.
100%. Yeah.
10 back. It's awful.
And the run they went on, it's wild.
And that whole starter thing worked for them. It was crazy.
Yeah, it did.
All right, diving into the NBA, boys. A few weeks ago.
The ref? That's it, a ref? Sorry, that throw.
No, Sunday night game.
He's the worst throw ever. All right, next one.
A few weeks ago, Celtics guard Jabari Bird was arrested on charges of assault and battery, strangulation, and kidnapping in a domestic violence incident. What should be his punishment by the NBA?
Death.
Fucking
Death.
yeah. Fucking shoot him in the fucking head. Fucking tired of his fucking bullshit. I mean,
I don't know why.
Once again, it's a
mental
mental issue. Once again,
to come back.
They love to tell me that he's not on his meds and shit. It's like, dude, I mean, how many times are we gonna play this fucking card?
Yeah, seriously.
Well, take
you
your
can
fucking
say that
meds.
about anybody.
Yeah.
You can say that about anybody.
Take
He didn't take his vitamins this morning. You know.
There you go.
When he doesn't take his vitamins, he strangles women. That's what happens.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
You
didn't drink his V8 today.
Without my Flintstones, I'm really fucking on edge. You know what I mean?
I missed one glass of orange juice in the morning. I'm strangling bitches. Come on, that's not how this shit works.
I don't get a fucking pass, bro. Get the fuck out of here,
to me,
she got away. Thank
you gave me
God,
generic brand, not
she
Tropicana.
She got away because
I'm joking, a bitch.
And by the
Pulp
way,
or no pulp?
And it wasn't like he said, it wasn't like he opened the door. She got away because he passed out. Yeah, read that fucking thing, dude. Whatever the fuck got him all wired up or something. He fucking fell down and hit his head or something. Then she was able to get away. So it wasn't like he was like, he dropped her off at the fucking local fire hall.
Listen,
you know what I mean?
can give all the money. And I'm saying this as real as I can, man. In the NBA, it's surprising you don't hear more about this because you're giving a lot of guys who came from nothing a lot of fucking money. And different guys handle that kind of fame different than other guys. And, there's no excuse for that shit. I don't care what kind of medicine you're on or not, dude. I mean, that's the shit you grow up not doing. You know what I mean? Like, it's just shit you learn not to do. You don't deserve to be.
It's not even the same stratosphere. Like,
no,
you talk about,
you don't deserve to be
he was
anywhere.
like, disorderly conduct, and he was pissing on, after he was pissing on a wall in public or something. He wasn't on his meds. Oh, okay, Jabari. Keep it tucked in, man. Would you not piss on the wall? That's my business, right? Or you talk about fucking, rape and kidnapping. And
I think he should be suspended indefinitely.
Throw away the key.
I just don't understand how they can let it. Like, I know that everyone wants to read. Well, he gets a second chance. Like, maybe we should stop giving second chances. Yeah. Maybe if you kidnap,
first chance.
Maybe if you kidnap and strangle and like rape or whatever he did, maybe you do that. You don't get a second chance because you shouldn't.
You're on Josh Gordon shit. You deserve it. You can give him any chances you want to give, right? I mean, it's different, right? Talking about a guy who smokes weed, drank a little bit too much. Okay, you know what I mean? He's not hurting nobody. He's hurting himself, right? So I mean, that kind of stuff, yeah, you give second chances too. But any of this kind of shit, go away, go far away, and throw the key away as you're going.
When this first went down, I read this article in SI, and according to the author's opinion, he was saying 10 to 20 games. I'm like, 10 to 20 games?
10 to 20 games.
Are you
the article
kidding me?
The editor or the writer of that article should fire his fucking self too, and somebody should go strangle him too for even writing stupid shit like that. Like somebody should just choke him up. What do you say, 10 to 20? 10 to 20, I'll come right up here.
When you need him?
Like, come on, dude. He's suspended from the league indefinitely. He should serve some prison time or at least some jail time, or at least be on fucking probation, dude. You can't just go strangling and kidnapping girls. Come on. You know what I mean? Like, that's not okay.
When you got money, you can do whatever you want.
Incredibly terrible.
Fourth question.
I'll never know.
I mean, either.
Well,
subscribe and follow. Maybe we'll know one day.
I don't have those problems.
Subscribe and follow, and we'll all have a beach house one day.
Well, college football has been rip-roaring, so I want to ask you guys, which team or player has impressed you the most so far this season?
I think we know where I'm going.
Yeah.
Cuse, baby, 4-0. Let's go. Let's go, baby. Eric Dungy. Cuse goes to Clemson next week. Could be a bad week. All right? But hey, if it's not, it's going to get even worse around here. Wilson's going to be ramped up.
4-0. We'll see.
Going to tell by the beanie.
4-0.
The beanie wasn't a dead giveaway.
I mean, obviously we saw the sample size last year in the second half of the national championship. You know what I mean? But I mean, Tui is pretty special.
Yeah,
I mean, and they got 5-star after 5-star. We've talked about it all the time. So don't cry for me, Argentina. Nobody's feeling bad for them. But I mean, he's pretty fucking insane, bro. You know
Team said Tui is generational.
Guy can rip it. Guy can fucking rip it. You know what I mean? I don't know if it's going to translate to the next level. We know how the college game is so different, and there's been plenty of guys that can play the fucking game, but.
Oh, he can spin it and sling it. So, I mean, to me.
Boyd out for Penn State this week, yeah.
To me.
They get Urban back, too, right? Yeah.
Yeah, last week.
No, but Tui, to me, though, is the guy. I know Deem said the same thing. I mean, he's just, right where we left off.
That's like when everyone was all up in arms. How do you bench a guy that's 26-1? Do you see the other guy?
Because the other guy was tearing up our first-team defense since he was a freshman.
Because the dude that's 26-1 runs all over the place. This dude's going to stand in the pocket and just go, boop,
And if he wants to run, he can.
Dude, they smoked the piss out of what was that, Arkansas? Who did they play on this
Somebody.
weekend? I was
Texas A&M, Jimbo Fisher.
Oh yeah, Texas A&M. They
Jimbo.
smoked the piss out of Texas A&M.
Hey, Jimbo. Get back to FSU.
Jesus Christmas.
FSU, can I come back?
Oh, he's
Robbie,
nice.
last one.
Dumbo Fisher. Dumbo Fisher.
Well, last one's always Smash, Marry, Kill. This week's theme, Women of Marvel. So Smash, Marry, Kill. Scarlett Johansson, Black Widow. Kobe Smulders, Maria Hill. Or, coming in 2019, Brie Larson, Captain Marvel.
Oh, I do like me some Brie Larson.
Yeah.
Carol Danvers, Smash,
Larson,
Marry,
man.
Kill.
I'll marry Brie, smash ScarJo. And I guess I gotta.
You gonna kill Colby?
I guess I'm stuck killing Colby.
I'll kill Scarlett. Fuck her.
Good luck. Good luck. White Widow. Black Widow, whatever the fuck.
She seems like a handful.
Yeah. That's a roll around. Nah, man.
Yeah.
It's in and out. I'm sleeping. Marry Brie.
Bang in the third.
Kobe Smulders.
Yeah.
That's Robin from How I Met Your Mother, right?
Yeah.
I like her in that show. I don't know. I can go any way with this, really. I think it's a win-win, really, any situation you go. But I'll probably kill ScarJo. It seems like a handful. Marry Colby. Fun with Brie.
Smash Brie.
Have a little Brie on the side.
Andy Ritter
A couple
says.
toast points, some Brie.
Brie or Brie
Brie
Bella?
and Chi.
Brie Bella?
Little Brie on a cracker.
Little Brie.
Andy Ritter says kill Larson, marry Maria, smash Scarlett. Deem says smash Brie, marry ScarJo, kill Colby. And then he says flip Colby and Brie. Never mind. Listen, fam, we fucking love you out there. Thanks for tuning in. Oh, fucking long day. Long day of football.
Yeah.
A little worn out. I'd like to thank Paul Vidal.
Good W out of us today, though, boys. You know, hey, win's a win.
We'll be on next Sunday
bad
night.
loss here tonight.
Everybody in the East won except for
Bad loss here tonight.
except for the Roaches.
Well, the Pats, yeah, it's not
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. 3-1 for the East this
Yeah.
week, besides Dak, who just seems to get better in the pocket.
Yeah, Dallas looking good. That Ewok was running wild today, wasn't he?
So we'll be back
Hold
next
the
Sunday
ball,
night.
buddy.
Stay tuned. Shows all week this week. You know how we roll over here at A2D. Subscribe, fam. Stay locked in on our fucking alerts.
If you're in Nashville, hit me up.
Right, looking for a date.
Yeah, Cashville, Tennessee. What?
Yeah, that.
Got
You
listen to some shit down
No, I
there.
just
You
want
told
to
me
go
the
drink
team-
it with some
I
fellow
know.
fans.
Nobody's mad at
If
you.
you had to guess
You
who was
gotta get
going
it
to win,
going. Yeah, we get some Nashville hot chicken.
Oh,
I,
hell
want some
yeah.
I want some hot chicken videos.
if you had to guess who was
Hey,
going to
bring
win in
some
the NFC Central this weekend,
It would
You
have been,
pick the
it would have
Lions.
been the Lions.
Yeah, that's hilarious. Wow.
Oh, man, yawning.
think
Gotta
of
love this leg. All right, fam. We out. Agree, disagree. ATD Radio. Tom Renone, Nick Delgazzo, Brian Wilson, Greg Mwagvik, Robbie Pope on the ones and twos. Dr. Paul Vidal join us every Sunday. Specialized Physical Therapy, LLC. Find them out, specializedphysicaltherapy.com. Like the dealer, we out. Love yous.
later.